Our guests have arrived. I request all to please be seated. Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to all the distinguished guests, dignitaries, members of the management, colleagues and students. It is with great honor and immense pleasure that we welcome you all to this two-day multidisciplinary international conference on Indo-Iran relations, a social, cultural, commercial, historical, political, philosophical and technological assessment organized by our Internal Quality Assurance Cell in collaboration with Culture House of Islamic Republic of Iran. Today we stand at the confluence of two ancient civilizations whose interactions have shaped the narratives of trade, culture, philosophy and diplomacy over the ages. This conference is a celebration of ideas, a gathering of brilliant minds to explore and delve deeper into the shared multi-dimensional ties that bind India and Iran. It serves as a platform to reflect on these timeless connections while envisioning pathways for mutual growth in the 21st century. Over the 2 days, we aim to analyze the multifaceted evolution of Indo-Iran relations, guided by the perspectives and expertise of our speakers and delegates. To begin this momentous occasion, we extend our wholehearted welcome to our esteemed dignitaries and guests. We request our guests to kindly take their seats on the dais. I request our guests to kindly take their seats on the dais. The presiding officer, Mr. Mohammed Reza Fazel. I request our volunteers to please guide our guests to their seats. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala. Mr. Suresh Mhatre, our guest. Our members of the management. I request the members of our management to please occupy their seats on the dais. Advocate Chief Momin, Niyaz Momin, sir. Dr. Anis Momin. and all other members, Yusuf Ramzan Momin, let us embark on this intellectual journey together as we bring history alive, engage in critical dialogue, and build bridges for a promising future. We begin on an auspicious note by invoking the divine blessings and wisdom. Now I invite our TY students, Malbari Asad and Beg Humayun, to grace us with this spiritual honor and recite a few verses of the Holy Quran.
Hello. Hello.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر. سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. صدق الله العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. He is Allah, other than whom there is no deity, knower of the unseen and the witness. He is the entirely merciful and the especially merciful. He is Allah, other than whom there is no deity, the sovereign, the pure, the perfection, the bestower of faith, the overseer, the exalted in might, the compeller, the superior. Exalted is Allah above whatever they associate with Him. He is Allah, the creator, the inventor, the fashioner. To Him belongs the best name. Sadaqallahul Azim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, Asad and Humayun, for the beautiful and soulful recitation. Let us now commence with the words of warmth and inspiration. And to set the tone for today's proceedings, I now invite our leader and our guiding force, our principal, Dr. Muhammad Arif, to deliver the welcome address.
Auzubillahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Respected President of the program, Mr. Mohammed Reza Fazel, Director, Indian Cultural House, Mumbai. Mr. Feroz Borewala, Indian activist and today's keynote speaker. Mr. Talha Sharif Hassan Momin, our MP, we know Baleya Mama, Member of Parliament, Treasurer, Bhiwandi Weavers Education Society, Dr. Anis Momin, other management members, Advocate Niyaz Momin, and dignitaries present over here on the dais, principals, teachers of different schools and colleges, and dear students. Assalamu alaikum, and a good afternoon, and welcome to our conference today. With due permission of the chair, I would like to say something about our college. It's my absolute pleasure to extend a heartily welcome to each of you present over here. We are thrilled to witness such enthusiastic participants and a highly learned audience gathered to deepen their understanding of this significant topic. Before I would like to say something about our college. Our college, I mean Samadiya College of Arts and Commerce, established by Bhiwandi Weavers Education Society. The institute offers BA and BCom courses in regular mode, and we also have two distance mode education. One is Maulana Azad National Urdu University Study Center, and second one Yashwantrao Chauhan Open University Study Center. The management, I mean Bhiwandi Weavers Education Society, is oriented towards making higher education accessible to the students in respective of social and economic backward people. We believe in producing socially responsible citizens for our nation by providing them acquire knowledge and information. Behind the scene of organizing this conference, India and Iran have a deep cultural and historical connection. But relation between the two nations have atrophied in recent times. India and Iran share a millennia-long history of interactions. India and Iran signed a friendship treaty on 15th March 1950. The visit of Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee to Iran and sign of the Tehran Declaration in April 2001, followed by the visit of President Syed Mohammad Khatami and the signing of the New Delhi Declaration in 2003, deepened the India-Iran cooperation. The two documents identified areas of cooperation and set the strategic vision for the India-Iran partnership. The bilateral relations were further boosted by the visit of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to Iran in the May 2016. During the visit, a joint statement entitled Civilizational Connect, Contemporary Context was issued and 12 agreements were signed. The bilateral agreements on trade, transport, and transit between India and Iran and Afghanistan were also signed during the visit. President Rouhani visited India in February 2018, during which a joint statement titled Towards Prosperity Through Greater Connectivity was issued. The two sides signed 13 agreements during the visit. There have been two parliamentary speakers level visits between India and Iran, with Lok Sabha Speaker Meera Kumar visited Iran in 2011, followed by a return visit by the speakers of Majlis, Dr. Ali Larijani, to India in 2013. US sanctions on Iran have been a big factor, leading to India largely curtailing the engagements with the country. But recent developments, visit-free travel for Indians and Iran's entry into BRICS seem to provide a reason for cautious optimizing. What are the concerns and objects for Iran and India when it comes to bilateral engagements? To what extent does America, Israel, and Arab concern influence India's approach to Iran, notwithstanding its proclaimed doctrine of strategic autonomy, and what outcomes should India be aiming for through its engagements with Iran. India and Iran signed a MOU in 2015, jointly cooperation on development of the Shahid Beheshti port at Charbahar, Iran. India continued to cooperate closely with Iran in realizing the vision of Charbahar port as a major regional and international hub in the movement of humanitarian and commercial goods. So the conference aims to bring together innovative academicians, thinkers, writers, and research scholars in the field of humanities, social sciences, language, literature, commerce, economics, politics, philosophy, technology. The difference aspires to bring together to best minds in a single platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and heartfelt address. Your vision and encouragement has always stimulated us to strive for advancement. Thank you very much, sir. It is said that honoring guests is not just a tradition, but a way of expressing our deepest gratitude and respect. Today, we have amongst us eminent personalities who have graced this occasion with their presence. To extend our heartfelt appreciation, we now move on to the felicitation of our esteemed guests. Our esteemed guest, Mr. Suresh Mhatre, Honorable Member of Parliament, Bhiwandi, has graced us. I request Mr. Tala Sharif Hassan, sir, to please felicitate our guest, Suresh Mhatre, sir, with a token of our love. I guess Tala sir is not here. I request Advocate Chief Momin, Honorable Secretary, Bhiwandi Weavers Education Society, to please welcome Suresh Mhatre, sir. Thank you, sir. As sir has to leave early because of his prior commitments, so we will have the address of sir now. I request sir to please, everyone please welcome sir for his address. Thank you very much. I request sir to please take charge. Over to you, sir.
Multidisciplinary International Conference, Indo-Iran Relations, Social, Cultural, Commercial, Historical, Political, Philosophical and Technological Assessment. यहाँ पे ये जो कॉन्फ्रेंस आयोजित किया है वो समदिया कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट्स एंड कॉमर्स इनके माध्यम से एक कॉन्फ्रेंस आयोजित किया है। इसका कोलैबोरेशन जो किया है वो कल्चरल हाउस ऑफ इस्लामिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ ईरान मुंबई। यहाँ पे खास करके जो प्रोग्राम हो रहा है यहाँ पे उपस्थित चीफ गेस्ट फिरोज मिठीबोरवाला, एडवोकेट कैफ जो कि सेक्रेटरी है, मिस्टर रेजान ईरान से आए हैं, एडवोकेट नियाज मोमिन, यूसुफ मोमिन साहब, डॉक्टर अनीस साहब, आरिफ सर जो कि प्रिंसिपल है, और तलहा मोमिन जी। मंच पे सभी महानुभाव और इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में सभी स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने हिस्सा लिया है। सर पहले तो मैं हिंदी में इसके लिए बोलूँगा क्योंकि मैं मराठी मीडियम से 12th पास हुआ हूँ, फिर भी मेरी कोशिश रहेगी कि जितना इंग्लिश बोल सके उतना बोलूँगा ताकि जो आपके समझ में आए मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ। यहाँ पे जहाँ तक मेरे समझ में आया, मैंने तला भाई से भी बात किया, उन्होंने कहा कि जो भी कल्चरल या जो भी यहाँ पे शिक्षा दी जाती है, फिर यहाँ पे है या ईरान में है, तो ईरान में कैसे शिक्षा दी जाती है, वहाँ का कल्चरल क्या है, हिस्टोरिकल पॉलिटिकल क्या 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 है और यहाँ पे क्या क्या है, इसका एक आदान प्रदान यहाँ पे होने वाला है, जिसके माध्यम से हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी ये सब इजीली रहेगा। क्योंकि आपको मालूम है 100 साल पहले छोड़ दो, 50 साल पहले भी मेरे गांव से भिवंडी में आना मतलब 2-3 घंटे का काम था, पर आज ऐसी स्थिति है कि पूरे वर्ल्ड में कहीं पे भी अपन 24 आवर्स के अंदर जा सकते, फिर यूके हो या यूएसए हो। तो ऐसी स्थिति में ऐसा जब अभी जो काल आया है तो इसमें पढ़ना ज़रूरी है, वो भी खास करके इंग्लिश मीडियम माध्यम की जो स्कूलें आप देख रही है, इस सिटी में ही नहीं, ये रूरल में भी आज की तारीख में बड़े ठीक है उर्दू मीडियम रहेगा, मराठी मीडियम, हिंदी मीडियम है, पर हर जगह इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल हो रही है, जो कि आज की अपनी सबकी अपने आने वाला जो फ्यूचर है स्टूडेंट्स है उनकी सबकी ज़रूरत है। क्योंकि जैसे मैंने कहा कि आज पूरा वर्ल्ड एक 24 घंटे में अपन कहीं पे भी जा सकते हैं, और अपना देश छोड़ के अगर दूसरे देश में जाते हैं या कहीं पे भी जाते हैं तो आज की तारीख में ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड का जो लैंग्वेज है वो इंग्लिश माना जाता है। तो इसके लिए सब जगह इंग्लिश मीडियम के स्कूल हो रहे हैं और ये बहुत अच्छी बात है। मैं सबसे पहले तो जिन्होंने ये इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस आयोजित किया है उनको सही में धन्यवाद देता हूँ, उनका अभिनंदन भी करता हूँ, क्योंकि आज की तारीख में ये हमारे बच्चों के लिए, हमारे स्टूडेंट के लिए ये ज़रूरी है कि ऑल ओवर, आज समझो ठीक है इंडिया है, ईरान का बात है, पर ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में कौन से देश में क्या हो रहा है, वहाँ पे बिजनेस कैसा है, वहाँ पे जो कमर्शियल है, कल्चरल है, हिस्टोरिकल है, ये सब अपने स्टूडेंट को यहाँ से समझना चाहिए और उनको भी समझना चाहिए। तो इसके लिए ऐसे कॉन्फ्रेंस होने ये बहुत ज़रूरी बात है और अच्छी भी बात है। इसके लिए खास करके मैं समदिया स्कूल का अभिनंदन करता हूँ, और आज यहाँ पे मुझे बुलाया, मुझे दूसरे भी मीटिंग में जाने का है, क्योंकि 7 महीने में पहली बार हमारी डीपीडीसी की मीटिंग हो रही है। ये कभी डीपीडीसी की मीटिंग स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में हुई नहीं, और मेन जितने भी डेवलपमेंट के जो भी काम रहते हैं, रोड रास्ते रहे, हॉस्पिटल रहे, जो भी रहे, ये सब डीपीडीसी के मीटिंग के माध्यम से फाइनल हो जाते हैं। और ये पहली डीपीडीसी मीटिंग है, इसके लिए मेरे को वहाँ जाना है 4 बजे। मैं इसके लिए तला भाई से रिक्वेस्ट किया कि मैं थोड़ा जल्दी जाना चाहता हूँ, और ख़ास करके अभी मैं यहाँ आया, पहले तो मुझे मालूम ही नहीं था कि मैं कहाँ जा रहा हूँ। भाई जब आया तब तला सेठ को पूछा कि एक कॉन्फ्रेंस क्या है, इनका उद्देश्य क्या है, तब जाके मुझे समझा। पर नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं 2 दिन पहले पढ़ाई करके आऊँगा ताकि मैं भी कुछ बोल सकूँ और इसमें हिस्सा ले सकूँ। फिलहाल आज के लिए सबको थैंक्स बोलता हूँ, धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र।
सुरेश म्हात्रे जी, सुरेश म्हात्रे जी, हिंदू धर्म में मामा का स्थान बहुत ऊंचा है, बहुत पाक है, और इसलिए हम तमाम आप लोगों को मामा ही कहते हैं। हमारे स्कूल के लिए हमने कुछ आपसे सुविधा मांगी है कि हमें आपके फंड से 50 लाख का, जिसमें हम लोगों को पायाभूत सुविधा है, क्रीडांगण है, गार्डन, प्रवेश द्वार, सोलार बसविणे आणि पिण्याचा पाणीचा प्लॉट, ड्रिंकिंग वाटर, ये सब अगर आप सुविधा हम हमारी स्कूल को, कॉलेज को देंगे तो हम बहुत आभारी हैं।
Thank you, sir, for the time and information that you shared with us. Thank you very much. The president of the session is Mohammed Reza Fazel, the director of Culture House of Islamic Republic of Iran in Mumbai. I request Tala Sharif Hassan sir to kindly do the honor and present a token of our gratitude to Mr. Mohammed Reza Fazel. Welcome, sir, with a big round of applause. जी, Dr. Anis. We have the honor of felicitating our keynote speaker, Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala, renowned Indian activist. I request Dr. Anis Momin, Treasurer, Bhiwandi Weavers Education Society, to welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala. Thank you, sir. A great institution is built on a strong foundation of visionary leadership, dedicated efforts, and unwavering commitment. Today we gather for this conference. It is our privilege to honor the esteemed members of our management, as their constant guidance and support have been instrumental in our growth. We begin by honoring Advocate Chief Momin, Honorable Secretary, Bhiwandi Weavers Education Society. I request our guest, Mr. Suresh Mhatre, will be taking his leave.
सर, हमारे एडवोकेट साहब ने जो भी स्कूल के या कॉलेज के माध्यम से जो भी काम का बताया, सर मैं प्रॉमिस करता हूँ कि टोटल 50 का काम है, 25 का मैं आप कभी भी आ सकते हो तला भाई को लेके, और ये मार्च में ये साल ख़त्म होगा, 2 महीने के बाद फिर 25 का दूंगा। आप कभी भी आओ। थैंक यू। और ख़ास करके तला भाई को बोल दो, आप जब भी चाहिए तभी, कल परसों कभी भी।
सर सर प्लीज कम। सर आप बोल दीजिए ना, आप बोल दीजिए, आप बोल दीजिए, बोल दीजिए आप।
कीराट कल्चर हाउस के डायरेक्टर जनाब मोहम्मद रज़ा फाजिल की तरफ से हमारे मोहतरम एमपी साहब की खिदमत में यह हदिया है, कबूल फरमाएं।
Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution. We begin by honoring Advocate Keith Momin, Honorable Secretary B1D Weavers Education Society. I request our Principal, Dr. Mohammed Arif, to please felicitate Advocate Keith Momin, sir. Thank you, sir. Also present on the dais is Dr. Anis Momin, Treasurer, B1D Weavers Education Society. May I request Assistant Professor Jalees Sheikh, Head of the Department of Urdu. I request our Principal, sir, yet again, to please felicitate Dr. Anis Momin. We also have amongst us Advocate Niyaz Momin, Chairman of Cultural Committee, B1D Weavers Education Society. I request Assistant Professor Isa Ansari to welcome Advocate Niyaz Momin. Subhan Sikandar, sir, is also there on the dais. I request Isa sir again to please felicitate him. I request Isa sir to please honor all the members of the management on the dais. I request Isa sir to please honor our principal, Dr. Mohammed Arif. With this, we formally welcome our guest and the management members. And once again, we extend our sincere gratitude to all of them for their presence. It is now time to move forward to one of the most anticipated segments of this conference, that is the keynote address. And I'm absolutely delighted to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala, who is a well-known Indian social activist, political analyst, and human rights advocate. Sir has dedicated his life to advocating the social justice, focusing on Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He is renowned for leading a humanitarian convoy from India to Gaza, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to global solidarity. A strong proponent of secularism and social justice, Sir has been actively involved in grassroots movements, advocating for the rights of marginalized communities in India and beyond. Sir is also the founder-convener of the Muslim Intellectual Forum of India and the South Asian Solidarity Initiative platforms that focus on strengthening communal harmony and regional cooperation in South Asia. His activism spans various issues, including international conflicts, anti-globalization movements, and democratic rights. In addition to his activism, Sir has written extensively on political and social issues, contributing to national and international discussions on peace, justice, and human rights. Sir continues to be a vocal advocate for progressive change, inspiring movements that challenge oppression and promote equity, openness in the society. It is with great honor that I invite Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala to enlighten us with his keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala.
I thank ma'am for that wonderful introduction. I just request the students to move ahead because I've seen a lot of the boys running out of the side doors. So please come in the front and please sit. Yeah. Yes, you're right. Ma'am, welcome. बेटा वो सब भाग रहे पीछे से just welcome Rais.
Our esteemed guest, Mr. Rais Sheikh, Honorable MLA Bhiwandi East, has just arrived. I request our principal sir to please honor our guest, Mr. Rais Sheikh. Thank you, sir. Sir, you may kindly resume.
जी, I request the students to settle down, please. जरा शांति से please बैठ जाइए और इसका प्रारंभ करते हैं. Firstly, I'd like to thank Principal Muhammad Arif who really persevered and got me here. नहीं आ रहा आवाज़ नहीं आ रहा. चलो, it's coming. And my friend Prof. Liaquat, actually, who's the mover behind this program, I believe. And Mohammed Reza Fazel, a very active director of the Iran Cultural House, a Rais Sheikh, MLA and our friend, and all the other esteemed panelists. साथियों, मेरी बात हुई थी प्रिंसिपल साहब के साथ कि आज की जो चर्चा होगी वो इंडो ईरान मुद्दे पे तो ज़रूर होगी, but it will also be about the role of Iran in the axis of resistance and the role of Palestine as the leading force in the freedom of the world. क्योंकि फ़िलिस्तीन के जो आज़ादी का मुद्दा है वो सिर्फ फ़िलिस्तीन का मुद्दा नहीं है, अभी ये पूरी दुनिया के आज़ादी का मुद्दा बन चुका है. So what we see is that जो ग्लोबल पैलेस्टाइन सॉलिडरिटी मूवमेंट है, दुनिया के इतिहास में इतना बड़ा सॉलिडरिटी मूवमेंट पूरे दुनिया के इतिहास में कभी भी इतना वैश्विक सॉलिडरिटी मूवमेंट कभी बना नहीं. आज फ़िलिस्तीन का आंदोलन हर दुनिया के देश में है, हर शहर में. तो द ग्लोबल पैलेस्टाइन मूवमेंट, द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ ईरान इन दैट मूवमेंट, द रोल ऑफ इंडिया, द हिस्टोरिक रोल ऑफ इंडिया, आज वो सब चर्चा करेंगे. क्योंकि द अदर पैनलिस्ट विल डील विद द क्वेश्चन ऑफ हिस्ट्री, पॉलिटिक्स, कल्चर, कॉमर्स एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. एंड जो हमारे प्रिंसिपल साहब हैं उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से एक शॉर्ट स्पीच में उसकी हिस्टोरिकल, मॉडर्न हिस्टोरिकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कुछ बातें भी की, क्या क्या करार साइन हुए वगैरह वगैरह. बट द पॉइंट इज़ कि आज जिस दौर से दुनिया गुजर रही है, हम टिकटॉक पे वॉर क्राइम्स देख रहे हैं, टिकटॉक पे हॉलोकॉस्ट और जेनोसाइड देख रहे हैं, तो फिर तो उस पर बात करनी पड़ेगी. और जो ईरान का सेंट्रल रोल है इस पूरे आंदोलन में, उस पर भी बात करनी पड़ेगी. सो आई बी फोकसिंग ऑन द इशू ऑफ पैलेस्टाइन, द रोल ऑफ इंडिया. जो गांधी जी ने कल, गांधी जी का शहादत का दिन है और उसी किस्म के फोर्सेस ने गांधी जी की हत्या की थी, जो हमारे देश में आज भी पैलेस्टाइन जो इसराइल को सपोर्ट करते हैं, ठीक है। तो ये थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स लेक्चर है, इसलिए मैंने स्टूडेंट्स को आगे बुला लिया कि आप आगे सुनिए। अगर आपके हाथ में पेन और किताब है तो उसके नोट्स लीजिए, आपको इसका फ़ायदा ही होगा। पॉइंट बिंग साथियों कि ये दुनिया वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 और वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 वाली दुनिया नहीं है, ये अभी एक मैसिव ट्रांजिशन फेज में है। वेस्टर्न फोर्सेस, अमेरिका, यूरोप डिक्लाइनिंग फोर्सेस है और ग्लोबल साउथ इमर्ज हो रहा है। ये और इसका सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल है, सिंबल है, आई बिलीव द ब्रिक्स मूवमेंट, जो ब्राज़ील, रशिया, इंडिया, चाइना, साउथ अफ्रीका ने शुरू की थी, आज जो ब्रिक्स प्लस हो चुका है। ये नॉन अलाइंग मूवमेंट का नया स्वरूप है, जिसमें इंडिया, ईरान, रशिया, चाइना, साउथ अफ्रीका आर प्लेइंग अ क्रूशियल रोल। In this context, we need to discuss the role of Iran, the sacrifices of Iran in the entire matter. साथियों, हम लोग जाएंगे 7 अक्टूबर के तरफ 2023, जहाँ से एक नया रेवोल्यूशन पूरी दुनिया में शुरू हुआ है। 7 अक्टूबर के दिन फिलिस्तीनी आज़ादी के आंदोलन ने एक आक्रमण किया, जिसके बारे और उसके पूरे दुनिया पर उसका एक इन्फ्लुएंस है। मगर 7 अक्टूबर के बारे में कुछ तथ्य आपके सामने बहुत ज़रूरी रखते हैं। जो झूठ मीडिया में फैलाया गया, उस पे बारे में बहुत ज़रूरी बात करनी। तो 7 अक्टूबर के होने के कारण क्या थे? नंबर 1 ये था कि नेतन्याहू ने ये कह दिया था कि फ़िलिस्तीन का चैप्टर ख़त्म हो चुका है, सऊदी अरेबिया के साथ हमारा करार साइन होने वाला है, इब्राहिम अकॉर्ड्स आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, फ़िलिस्तीन का वजूद अभी मैप पे ही नहीं है, यूनाइटेड नेशन में एक मैप ही बता दिया था। दूसरी बात कि अल-अक्सा मस्जिद पे लगातार इनके हमले हो रहे थे कि अल-अक्सा मस्जिद टूटी जाएगी और वहाँ एक 3rd टेम्पल ऑफ सॉल्ट बनेगा। तीसरी बात कि बेसिकली नेतन्याहू खुद इजराइल में संकट में आ चुका था सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सवाल पे। प्रेसिडेंट नेतन्याहू पे, प्राइम मिनिस्टर नेतन्याहू पे 5 मुकदमे चल रहे हैं करप्शन के, शेयर मार्केट मैनिपुलेशन, ब्राइबरी, करप्शन पे। अगर वो बात आगे बढ़ती तो नेतन्याहू की सत्ता जाती। तो नेतन्याहू वही करता है जो हर बार करता है, गाज़ा पे बॉम्बिंग उससे चालू कर दी थी। मगर हो गया 7 अक्टूबर, और 7 अक्टूबर का कारण हमास और ये फोर्सेस का था। और आप याद रखें कि ना हमास ना हिजबुल्लाह को भारतीय सरकार ने आतंकवादी बोला है। ये गोदी मीडिया ज़रूर कुछ भी बोलेगी, मगर सरकार ने उनको कभी ये नहीं बोला है, ठीक है। तो ये उठा हुआ क्योंकि हमास का बोलना था कि हमारे 10,000 फिलिस्तीनी लोग आपके जेलों में बंद है, उनको छुड़ाने के लिए हम उनको बंधक इजरायली को बनाएंगे, बस इतनी बात थी। उनको मारने का कोई एजेंडा नहीं था। मगर न्यूज़ क्या आई कि 40 बच्चों को मारा, गर्दन काटी, बलात्कार हुआ। ये सब बातें झूठी सिद्ध हो चुकी है। CNN ने तीसरे दिन माफ़ी मांगी कि कोई 40 बच्चे नहीं मरे थे, माफ़ी मांग रहे। बाइडेन ने तो बोला, मैंने फोटो देखा था, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ अमेरिका ने बड़ा झूठ बोला था। दूसरी बात, जहाँ तक बलात्कार का सवाल है, यूनाइटेड नेशंस की ह्यूमन राइट्स कमेटी गई थी, महिलाओं की कमेटी गई थी इजरायली औरतों को मिलने के लिए कि जो सो कॉल्ड जिनका बलात्कार हुआ थे। नेतन्याहू सरकार ने विरोध किया कि आप किसी को नहीं मिलेंगे। तो एक भी बलात्कार 7 अक्टूबर का नहीं हुआ था, आप समझ लीजिए इस बात को। तीसरी बात कि इन्होंने सिविलियंस को मारा, इजरायली सिविलियंस को। अगर आपने सुना होगा हैनिबल डायरेक्टिव, वो एक इजरायली आर्मी का एक फरमान है कि अगर हमारा कोई भी सिविलियन या सोल्जर फिलिस्तीनियों का हाथ पकड़ा जा रहा है तो उसको मार डालो। तो जिस दिन 900 मरे इजरायली, 300 तो सोल्जर थे, जो बाकी के 900 थे उसमें 80% इजरायली को इजराइल ने खुद मारा है, और ये इजराइल के पेपरों में आ चुका है। तो वहाँ की जनता डिमांड करी कि 7 अक्टूबर का इन्वेस्टिगेशन होना चाहिए, और नेतन्याहू ने कानून बना दिया है कि 7 अक्टूबर का कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं होगा, और जो उसका डिमांड करेगा उस पर चर्चा करे उसको जेल में डाल देंगे। ये हालत है इजराइल के अंदर की। 3 और तथ्य आपको दे रहा हूँ। न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स का रिपोर्ट था, जो इजरायली अखबारों में भी आ गया था, कि 1 साल पहले नेतन्याहू को पता था कि इस किस्म का हमला होने वाला है, 1 साल पहले। दूसरी बात कि इजराइल विमेन सोल्जर जो गाज़ा को घेर कर रखती है, मैं गाज़ा जा चुका हूँ, वो दीवार तक आप जा भी नहीं सकते, तोड़ने की तो दूर की बात है। तो वो जो पेरीमीटर को गार्ड कर रहे थे सर्वेलेंस सिस्टम से, सैटेलाइट ड्रोन वगैरह से, वो 3 महीने पहले समझ चुके थे कि कुछ आ रहा है, मगर उनके सीनियर्स ने बताया कि आपको कुछ भी रिपोर्टिंग नहीं करनी, आप चुप बैठे। तीसरा, इजिप्ट की सरकार ने खुद बता दिया था नेतन्याहू को 10 दिन पहले कि एक अटैक आने वाला है। नेतन्याहू बोला फेक न्यूज़ है। इसका मतलब है कि नेतन्याहू ने एक जाल बिछा दिया था उनको प्रोवोक करके कि आपकी अलग समझ ये टूटेगी, आपका ये होगा वो होगा, और बाद में वो अटैक हुआ। उससे जो जाल बिछाई, नेतन्याहू खुद उसमें फंस गया। और हम लोगों ने देखा क्या है, गाज़ा को पूरी तरीके से ख़त्म कर दिया है। वो हम लोग लाइव देख रहे हैं, ये तथ्य हमारे सब सामने है। साउथ अफ्रीका ने हिम्मत करके इंटरनेशनल क्रिमिनल कोर्ट में गई। आज नेतन्याहू को वॉर क्रिमिनल का वारंट मिल चुका है। आज इजराइल की हालत है, और हम लोग देख रहे कि फिलिस्तीनी जनता वहीं टिकी है, एक सफ़ेद झंडा नहीं है, कोई सरेंडर की बात नहीं कर रहा है। एंड दे आर ऑल वॉकिंग बैक होम। उत्तर गाज़ा में जो सबसे भयंकर परिस्थिति थी, lakhs of Palestinians are marching back home. This is a defeat for Israel. This is a defeat for America and for Germany and for France and for Britain and all those war criminal nations. तो 1948 और 1967 में जो जेनोसाइड हुआ था और जब ये निकल गए थे, उनको निकाला गया था, इस बार निकालने के बावजूद भी कोई जाने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। हम मरेंगे मगर हमारी ज़मीन को नहीं छोड़ेंगे। और ये वो जीत है फिलिस्तीनी आंदोलन की। और उसके साथ जो ट्रंप ने कल परसों बोल दिया कि वी विल क्लीन आउट गाज़ा, उसको शर्म आनी चाहिए। ये बोलना ही इंटेंट फॉर जेनोसाइड इज अ वॉर क्राइम। बाइडेन और हैरिस तो वॉर क्रिमिनल है ही। सीज फायर करते रहे, बात करते रहे, और आप समझ लीजिए 23 लाख की आबादी में से 3 लाख फिलिस्तीनी मारे गए। 3 लाख, ये 40,000 लोग नहीं मरे। जो दुनिया की लीडिंग मेडिकल मैगजीन है, उसमें ये 6 महीने पहले आंकड़ा आया था 1,86,000 का, और उसके बाद भी ये भयंकर किस्म की बॉम्बिंग, स्टारवेशन, इंजरीज, ये सब तरीके से अंडर द रबल सब कुछ मर रहे। नाउ कमिंग टू द रोल ऑफ ईरान आउट हियर। अगर ईरान नहीं होता, 1979 में जो रेवोल्यूशन हुआ, जो एक नेशनल रेवोल्यूशन हुआ, उसमें ईरान, वो टाइम तक सीरिया था, सीरिया भी अभी वो कैंप में चला गया, एक अलग मुद्दा है, मगर ईरान और फिलिस्तीन 2 देश बचे थे इस इलाके में जो अमेरिका को चुनौती दे रहे थे। उससे होते होते 1982 में जब लेबनान पे इजराइल ने हमला किया, तब हिजबुल्लाह करके एक ग्रुप खड़ा हुआ जो फिलिस्तीनियों के साथ खड़ा है। सीरिया की सरकार अब तक खड़ी थी, सीरिया इज आउट ऑफ द पिक्चर। इराक में एक पीपल्स मोबिलाइजेशन यूनिट है जो इस पूरे रेजिस्टेंस एक्सिस के साथ खड़ा है। ईरान तो खड़ा है, और यमन की जो सना की सरकार है, क्योंकि वो एक सरकार है, एक आर्मी है, उनके पास मिसाइल है, टैंक्स है, तो ये 2 कंट्रीज तो है, ईरान और यमन, जो देश और सरकार करके खड़ी है ये पूरे आंदोलन में। इसमें साथियों, इंडिया की जब बात करें इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, तो हमारे आज़ादी के आंदोलन के दौरान 1917 में जब बालफुर डिक्लेरेशन जाहिर हुआ, जब अंग्रेज़ों ने फिलिस्तीन दे दिया एक रॉथशील्ड बैंकिंग फैमिली को, 1917 में जब वर्ल्ड वॉर I ख़त्म हुआ, तो रॉथशील्ड बैंकिंग फैमिली, जो एक जूइश बैंकिंग फैमिली है, उन्होंने पूरा फंडिंग किया था ब्रिटेन को। उसमें बहुत सारे उनके करार हुए, मगर एक करार ये हुआ कि हम आपको फिलिस्तीन दे देंगे। दैट लेटर वॉज एड्रेस्ड टू द रॉथशील्ड बैंकिंग फैमिली। रॉथशील्ड बैंकिंग फैमिली ने देश को बनाया। मगर उस दौरान भी इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस हो या सुभाष चंद्र बोस हो, भगत सिंह हो, मौलाना आज़ाद हो, महात्मा गांधी, नेहरू जी है, ये सभी ने फिलिस्तीन का सपोर्ट किया था। राजीव गांधी तक ये जारी रहा। राजीव गांधी को असैसिनेशन करवाया गया। यासर अराफात ने 2 हफ्ते पहले उनको वार्न किया था, देयर इज़ एन इंटरनेशनल प्लॉट टू किल यू, क्योंकि राजीव गांधी वॉज काउंटरिंग इजराइल इन श्रीलंका। तो LTT का इस्तेमाल करके राजीव गांधी को ख़त्म किया, और उसके बाद हमारी विदेश नीति में परिवर्तन आना शुरू हुआ। बट एट द सेम टाइम द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द इंडियन पीपल, बी इट विच एवर रिलीजन में भी, स्टिल स्टैंड विद द पैलेस्टीन पीपल। मैं वो देख रहा हूँ सोशल मीडिया पे कि जब इजराइल बड़े पैमाने पे अटैक कर रहा था, मार रहा था, तो बहुत सारे हमारे बीजेपी आरएसएस टाइप जो हिंदू बंधु है हमारे, वो सपोर्ट कर रहे थे, अभी वो भी कम हो गए, क्योंकि उनको समझ में आ रहा है कि कितने क्रूर तरीके से ये पूरा आक्रमण हुआ है. सो वी आर विनिंग द बैटल ऑन द सोशल मीडिया, वी आर विनिंग द बैटल ऑन द ग्राउंड. उसमें साथियों कुछ डिटेल्स में जाना आवश्यक है. आई टेक अबाउट 10 minutes, नॉट मोर देन दैट. वेयर आर माय स्पेक्स? In this context, let us discuss the role of Iran. क्योंकि ईरान के बारे में बहुत सारी सीधी उल्टी बातें होती रहती है, एंड द एंटायर एक्सेस ऑफ द रेजिस्टेंस. जब ये 7 अक्टूबर का आक्रमण शुरू हुआ तो पहले तो हिजबुल्लाह ने कहा कि मैं गाज़ा के साथ खड़ा हूँ और अगर गाज़ा पे बॉम्बिंग बंद नहीं होगी तो हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं. ठीक है. इजराइल ने क्या किया? इजराइल को लगा था कि मैं बड़े पैमाने पे लोगों को मारूंगा, उनके अस्पताल, स्कूल, कॉलेज सब खत्म करूंगा. मैं गाज़ा जा चुका हूँ, उनकी अस्पतालें हमारे अस्पतालों से ज़्यादा साफ़ सुथरी, वो भी बता दूँ. वो जिस परिस्थिति में जीते हैं उसके बावजूद उनकी अस्पतालें, सरकारी अस्पतालें हमारी अस्पतालों से ज़्यादा साफ़ सुथरी होती है. तो उनकी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ फिलिस्तीनी से ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिखा अरब नहीं है दुनिया में, वो भी आपको बता दूँ. हाईली एजुकेटेड पीपल. तो इजराइल का एजेंडा था कि इतने बड़े पे नरसंहार करो कि ये लोग छोड़कर चले जाए. उसके बाद जब हिजबुल्लाह ने डिफेंस करने के, गाज़ा के डिफेंड करने के लिए आक्रमण शुरू किया तो उन्होंने बेरूट में, साउथ लेबनान में, अलग अलग जगह पे बिल्डिंग्स, रेजिडेंशियल बिल्डिंग, हम आप जैसे बिल्डिंगों में रहने वाले लोग हैं, उसके बिल्डिंगों पर आक्रमण चालू कर दिया. उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि चाहे वो इस्माइल हानिये हो, याया शिनवर हो और हमारे हसन नसरल्लाह हो, ये जो सब लेजेंड्स ऑफ द रेजिस्टेंस, उनको असैसिनेशन उन्होंने चालू किया. ईरान ने उसका जवाब 2 बार दिया, मगर ईरान को बोला गया कि तुम ज़्यादा हमला मत करो, हम लोग सीज फायर करवाएंगे. तो रुक गया. मैं मानता हूँ को स्ट्रेटेजी गलती थी, मगर उसके साथ यमन से लगातार हमले चलते रहे. पोर्ट ऑफ एलात आज जो इजराइल का वो बंद हो चुका है. आज ये परिस्थिति आ चुकी है. और जब ये सीज फायर डिक्लेरेशन हुआ तो इजराइल में हार का पूरा माहौल था, हार का माहौल था. और आप फ़र्क देखें कि जब फिलिस्तीनी लोग वो बंधकों को, इजरायली बंधकों को छोड़ रहे हैं, उनकी तबीयत अच्छी है, वो मुस्कुरा कर जा रहे अपने घर, उनको मुस्कुरा कर खुशी खुशी बोले कि आप अपने घर जाइए. मगर जब इजराइल बंधकों को छोड़ रहा है, वहाँ टॉर्चर्ड, रेप्ड, वो बच्चे हो, औरतें हो, मर्द हो, सबका बलात्कार भी हो रहा है, टॉर्चर भी भयंकर रूप से हो रहा है. ये दोनों में कल्चर का फ़र्क है. एक इजराइल का जूइश फैनेटिकल साइकोटिक कल्चर और दूसरी साइड पे ये उदारवादी फिलिस्तीनी कल्चर जो आपको दिख रहा है, जो 3 लाख लोग हो चुका है, वो नफरत नहीं कर रहा है उनसे, और जो लगातार नरसंहार कर रहा है वो क्या व्यवहार कर रहा है हमको दिख रहा है, वो पूरी दुनिया को दिख रहा है. तो गाज़ा का परिणाम क्या हुआ? लोग बोल रहे कि यहाँ तो पूरा नरसंहार हो गया. मगर आप समझ लीजिए कि आज़ादी के जंग में सैक्रिफाइस के बिना कुछ मिलता नहीं. वियतनाम के लोगों ने आज़ादी ली तो 5 मिलियन वियतनामीज डाइड. अल्जीरिया के सामने लड़ाई, फ्रांस ने जो कब्जा किया था, 15 लाख अल्जीरियन मारे गए थे. नॉर्थ कोरियन 50 लाख मारे गए थे अमेरिका के हाथों. तो ये पोजीशन है. तो गाज़ा के लोगों ने जो त्याग दिया है, उसके कारण नंबर 1, वेस्टर्न लीडर्स आर बीइंग ट्रीटेड लाइक वॉर क्रिमिनल्स. हॉलोकॉस्ट का गिल्ट और हॉलोकॉस्ट के कारण जो इजराइल ब्लैकमेल करता था एंटीसेमिटिज्म के नाम पे, वो खत्म हो चुका है. आज इजराइल के लिए किसी को कोई सहानुभूति बची नहीं. तीसरी बात कि इजराइल इज ए डिफीटेड मिलिट्री पावर. दे हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू कैप्चर वन लिटिल गाज़ा, जो 35 बाई 12 किलोमीटर का इलाका है, जहाँ एक लोकसभा की आबादी है. 15 महीने के बाद आप एक लोकसभा नहीं ले पाए, तो आपकी क्या औकात है मिलिट्री पावर बोलने की? आपके पास 2000 टन के बम है, आपके पास जेट फाइटर्स है, आपके पास टैंक्स है, इनके पास छोटी बंदूकें हैं, छोटे मिसाइल है, मगर आप उनको, गाज़ा को आप ले नहीं पाए. So it is a strategic and a psychological defeat for Israel. And on the other side, what we are witnessing, the people of Gaza have said, we are not leaving our land, हम लोग हमारी ज़मीन नहीं छोड़ेंगे. और आपने अगर दृश्य देखे होंगे कि नौजवानों की फौज है, क्योंकि 50% से ज़्यादा आबादी फिलिस्तीनों की टीनेजर्स की है, बच्चों की है. और इजराइल ने तय कर लिया था कि मैं इन बच्चों को मारूंगा, क्योंकि प्रॉब्लम है ओल्ड टेस्टमेंट में हम लोग बोलते रहे कि धर्म नहीं सीखा था आपस में बैर रखना, वो झूठी बात है. सभी धर्म ग्रंथों में कहीं ना कहीं ये दिक्कत है, मगर सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत जो है वो ओल्ड टेस्टमेंट रादर द जूइश टोरा में है, जहाँ बुक ऑफ सैमुअल्स में नेथनियाहू ने कोट करके बोला था कि यू आर अलाउड टू किल चिल्ड्रन. The Jewish God called Yahweh is a crazy, psychotic God. He is not a universal figure. वो God of the 12 tribes है. We have to understand these factors as well. So those children are marching back home, and Israel is watching and not knowing what to do anymore. ये ceasefire का मतलब क्या है? ceasefire का इतना ही मतलब है मेरे हिसाब से कि फिलिस्तीनी 1000 छोड़े जाएंगे, इनके कुछ 100 लोग छोड़े जाएंगे, उसके बाद नेथनियाहू वापस ये जंग शुरू करेगा. जंग तो जारी है, वेस्ट बैंक में जंग जारी है, जेनिन पे रोज हमला हो रहा है, लेबनान में आज भी हमला हो रहा है. तो ये सिचुएशन में आज ये बात आ चुकी है. मगर मेरा मानना है कि जो रोल ईरान ने खास करके, क्योंकि आज यमन जो खड़ा है वो ईरान के कारण खड़ा है, हिजबुल्लाह जो खड़ा है वो ईरान के कारण खड़ा है. दे आर नॉट प्रॉक्सी, दे एलाइज. ये वेस्टर्न टर्मिनोलॉजी गलत है कि यमन की प्रॉक्सी और हिजबुल्लाह की प्रॉक्सी और हमास प्रॉक्सी, ये कोई प्रॉक्सी नहीं है. दीज आर इंडिपेंडेंट guerrilla movements that are fighting their war of independence. और ये जो फेज़ है अभी दुनिया का, उसमें हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि मैं तो मानता हूँ कि ये वेस्ट एशिया का लास्ट वॉर ऑफ लिबरेशन है. इसके बाद एंड ऑफ इजराइल एंड अ न्यू लिबरेटेड वेस्ट एशिया. इसमें और एक दो टर्म्स हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे. दे कीप ऑन सेइंग इजराइल हैज़ द राइट टू एग्जिस्ट. ये झूठी बात है, बिकॉज बाय इंटरनेशनल लॉ no country has a right to exist. People have a right to exist. Francis Albanese, जो यूनाइटेड नेशंस की ह्यूमन राइट्स की I believe one of the leading international figures, that is what Francis Albanese has said. No nation has the right to exist. आज इंडिया है, कल इंडिया पाकिस्तान हो गया था, बांग्लादेश हो गया, तो कंट्रीज तो आती जाती रहती है, मगर पीपल हैव अ राइट टू एग्जिस्ट. दैट इज व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. द सेकेंड पार्ट, इजराइल हैज द राइट टू डिफेंड इटसेल्फ. अटलाइज, ये इसलिए बोलते रहते हैं. अ कॉलोनियल ऑक्यूपाइंग पावर हैज नो राइट टू डिफेंड इटसेल्फ, but it has the duty by the Geneva Conventions to protect the people it occupies. अंग्रेजों का कोई अधिकार नहीं था हम पर आक्रमण करने का. उनकी जिम्मेदारी थी भारत में लोगों को ना मारे. अमेरिका had no right to defend itself in Yemen or Iraq or Vietnam or France and Nigeria. So Israel has no right to defend itself, no colonial occupying power has the right to defend itself, and no right to exist. But the Jewish people have a right to exist over there. They can live together with the Palestinians. And that's what the Palestinians always said. साथियों, तो दूसरा जो important turning point अभी दुनिया में आ रहा है, जिसमें again Iran is playing a pivotal role, and over there I believe Modi ji is playing the right role of being an active member of BRICS. ये नॉन अलाइंग मूवमेंट का नया स्वरूप है. नेहरू जी पे हंसते थे कि नॉन अलाइंग मूवमेंट बना दी. उस दौरान बनाना ज़रूरी था. अमेरिकन कैंप और सोवियत कैंप के बीच में एक इंडिपेंडेंट ब्लॉक ऑफ नेशंस वर इमर्ज फ्रॉम एशिया, अफ्रीका, साउथ अमेरिका. वो एक ब्लॉक, इट वॉज अ पॉलिटिकल ब्लॉक. वी वर वीक एज इकोनॉमिक पावर्स. मगर आज नॉन अलाइंग मूवमेंट का जो नया स्वरूप ब्रिक्स और ब्रिक्स प्लस बना है, ब्रिक्स की जीडीपी अमेरिका से ज़्यादा है, G7 से ज़्यादा है. So now there is a political bloc of economic powers called BRICS Plus, who are doing bilateral trading in their currencies. We don't need a dollar. डॉलर का हम लोग इस्तेमाल करते हैं बायलैटरल ट्रेड के लिए, तो अमेरिका को $1 ट्रिलियन तो बैठे बैठे मिल जाते हैं. तो जब सद्दाम ने चैलेंज किया कि मैं डॉलर को छोड़ रहा हूँ, जब गद्दाफी ने बोला कि मैं अफ्रीकन डिनर बना रहा हूँ, वन करेंसी वाला अफ्रीका उसको मार डाला. So the reason for the attack on Russia and the BRICS countries, yeah, fine. So the reason for the attack on Russia, actually एक ब्रेजेंस की डॉक्ट्रिन है कि अगर यूरोप और एशिया एक साथ हो जाते हैं, यूरेशिया बन जाता है, तो अमेरिका का डाउनफॉल हो जाएगा। तो यूरोप को अपने साथ रखो, अमेरिका की पूरी कोशिश है। इसलिए नेटो के माध्यम से ये रशिया यूक्रेन वॉर करवा से रशिया और जर्मनी बहुत करीब आ रहे थे। जर्मनी एक इंडस्ट्रियल पावर इसलिए था क्योंकि चीप ऑयल और गैस रशिया से मिल रहा था। यूक्रेन वॉर से वो दूरी हो गई। बट थैंक्स टू मिस्टर डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प, जो बोलते हैं मेरे को ग्रीनलैंड चाहिए, मुझे पैनामा कनाल चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, क्या डेनमार्क फ्रांस रशिया के साथ बात कर रहे हैं। और जितना वो साउथ अमेरिका पे दमन करेगा ट्रम्प इन टर्म्स ऑफ द माइग्रेशन इशू, इतना ही साउथ अमेरिकन कंट्रीज ब्रिक्स के साथ जुड़ेगी। तो here we have BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization playing an important role in creating a multipolar world. We don't want a bipolar world. We want a multipolar world of sovereign nations जो एक दूसरे को रिस्पेक्ट करे, एक दूसरे को मान सम्मान करे, वॉर ना करे, एक दूसरे का शोषण ना करे। तो एक मल्टीपोलर वर्ल्ड पिछले 20 सालों से और ख़ास करके पिछले 5-6 सालों से हमको दिख रहा है। आखिरी में साथियों, we need to respect, as I said, I'll go away with those words, respect the immense sacrifice and the leadership that Iran has shown despite sanctions in 1979. सीरिया वो सैंक्शन को झेल नहीं पाया। रशिया ने ईरान से सीखा कि वो सैंक्शन को कैसे डील करना है, बिकॉज ईरान बिकेम ए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पावर। ईरान knows how to export its oil despite sanctions via Iraq, via Qatar, via Oman and various other ways. Russia was learning from Iran how to deal with the sanctions. Okay? Today Iran has advanced drone technology, advanced missiles that America and Israel cannot stop, and Iran's army and the training they've given to the various countries around the region, and it is Iran and Hezbollah that are supporting the Palestinian cause. जब ceasefire हुआ तो हमास ने 3 लोगों का नाम लिया, हेजबोला का, ईरान का, यमन का और इराक का। ये 4 लोग कि ये हमारे साथ खड़े थे, क्योंकि दूसरे तो खाली पैसे बांटने के लिए आते हैं, ये लोग इनको हर तरीके से सपोर्ट करते हैं, in terms of technology, in terms of weapons, in terms, that is the only way to fight this battle. और इन्होंने कह दिया मैं गांधीवादी हूँ, yes I'm a गांधीवादी। 1938 में गांधी जी का एक बयान था शेगांव में। गांधी जी उसमें बोलते हैं कि जो हिटलर ने जूस के साथ किया है, जो जर्मनी ने जूस के साथ किया है, वो उसका कोई there is no parallel in human history. और इस संदर्भ में अगर वॉर करनी पड़े तो वॉर करो, बट आई डोंट लाइक वॉर। तो एक मीटिंग में तुषार गांधी, जो गांधी जी के पर पोते जिनके साथ मैं काम करता हूँ, उन्होंने कहा कि जर्मनी के जगह पे इजराइल लगा दीजिए, हिटलर के जगह पे नेतन्याहू लगा दीजिए, कि इन्होंने जो नरसंहार फिलिस्तीन पे किया है, अगर उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में वॉर जायज़ है तो जायज़ है, बट आई डोंट लाइक वॉर। मगर इस सिचुएशन में आप क्या करोगे जब आप पे नरसंहार हो रहा है और वो फोर्स सुनने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। अहिंसक आंदोलन कोशिश किए फिलिस्तीनों ने, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं किया है। 95% of the Palestinian movement has been of dharnas, morchas and fast unto death and everything they've done. But अगर हिटलर आपके सामने खड़ा है और नेतन्याहू हिटलर से भी ज़्यादा क्रूर है, तो फिर तो जो फिलिस्तीनों किया उनको करना पड़ा था। So my friends, I thank you for listening to the lecture with the patience you have shown, and I'll hope to be back if I'm invited again for a detailed session on all these issues. Thank you.
That was truly a thought-provoking address, sir. Your deep insights and powerful perspectives have truly enriched us. Your statements have shed light on critical issues and have ignited a sense of awareness and responsibility amongst all of us. We truly appreciate the time and information that you shared with us, sir. Thank you very much. We now proceed to the introduction of the presiding officer of this session. I have the pleasure to introduce a distinguished personality who has been a true ambassador to culture, knowledge, and diplomacy, Mr. Mohammed Reza Fazel, the director of the Iran Culture House in Mumbai. Sir has a master's degree in Quranic and Hadith Sciences from Tarbiyat Madaris University in Tehran. Since his appointment, Sir has actively engaged in various cultural and academic initiatives. He visited Deccan College in Pune and had a meeting with the Vice Chancellor and head of the Department of Linguistics to discuss collaborative opportunities. Under the leadership of Mr. Fazel, the Iran Culture House has organized significant events such as academic seminars, artistic exhibitions, cultural festivals, and workshops, highlighting the wholeheartedness to preserving and promoting Persian art forms. Sir has been the cultural expert for the cultural consultation of the Islamic Republic of Iran in Beirut and the head of several cultural and artistic groups and exhibitions sent to China, Russia, Serbia, Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, to name a few. His tenure is marked by a proactive approach to cultural diplomacy, aiming to strengthen the association between Iran and India through diverse and inclusive initiatives. We are truly honored to have you, sir, with us as the presiding dignitary of the session, and we eagerly look forward to your insights and vision. So let us all welcome Mr. Mohammed Reza Fazel. And to ensure that his message reaches us clearly, we also have his translator, Mr. Mohsin Nasri, who will assist him in delivering his lecture. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. خیلی تشکر میکنم از این فرصتی که دانشکده صمدیه در اختیار ما گذاشت که بتوانیم یک برنامه مشترک بین خانه فرهنگ ایران و صمدیه کالج رو رقم بزنیم و امیدوارم که تجربه خوبی برای همه ما ماندگار باشه.
मैं समदिया कॉलेज का बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि उन्होंने एक ऐसे अच्छे प्रोग्राम के इनेकाद के वो सबब बने जिसके ज़रिए से हम इनके साथ मिलकर इतना अच्छा प्रोग्राम यहाँ कर सके.
تشکر میکنم به خصوص از هیئت مدیره صمدیه کالج و جناب آقای دکتر محمد عارف و تمام حضار گرامی که زحمت کشیدن و حضور پیدا کردن و سایر مهمانان عزیز علل خصوص جناب آقای متیبولوارا.
और मैं ख़ुसूसी तौर पर शुक्रगुजार हूँ डॉक्टर मोहम्मद आरिफ साहब जो समदिया कॉलेज आर्ट एंड कॉमर्स के प्रिंसिपल हैं, और आप सभी हज़रात और ख़वातीन जो इस प्रोग्राम में शरीक हुए उन सब का भी मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ, और डाइस पर बैठे हुए तमाम मेहमानान का भी मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ, और ख़ुसूसी तौर पर जनाब फ़िरोज़ मिथिबोरवाला का भी मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ.
خب راجع به روابط هند و ایران به نظرم قبل از اینکه در خصوص دو کشور ما صحبت بکنیم یه نکته رو خوبه من یادآوری کنم که در ادبیات سیاسی امروز روابط بیشتر بر به اصطلاح میزان بهره برداری و به اصطلاح اون چیزی که در ارتباطات به هر کشور میرسه، سودی که میرسه و منافعی که از ارتباطات حاصل میشه بیشتر مد نظره.
इससे पहले कि मैं इंडिया और ईरान के दरमियान जो रवाबित है, जो रिलेशन है, उसके बारे में बात करने से पहले मैं एक नुक्ते की तरफ आपकी तवज्जो दिलाना चाहता हूँ. आज की सियासी इस्तिलाह में या आज की ज़बान में हर मुल्क दूसरे मुल्क के साथ अपने रवाबित को मनफात और फ़ायदे के बुनियाद पर उस्तवार करता है। देखते हैं कि फ़लाँ मुल्क के साथ अगर मेरे रिलेशन अच्छे हो जाएं तो उसका मेरा क्या फ़ायदा होगा। अगर फ़ायदा अच्छा रहा तो मैंने रवाबित बना लिए, अगर फ़ायदा ना रहा तो मैंने उसके साथ राबता उससे मुनक़ते कर दिया।
منتها قبل از اینکه این ادبیات بر روابط سیاسی کشورها حاکم بشه، بیشتر روابط انسانی، روابط بر اساس معیارهای اخلاقی انسانی و علمی در دوره‌های پیشین تاریخی مطرح بود و مورد تأکید ملت‌ها بود.
और यकीनन जिस नुक्ते की तरफ मैंने आपकी तवज्जो दिलाई, यानी जो पॉलिटिकल रिलेशंस है दो मुल्कों के दरमियान, उसकी बुनियाद मुनाफे और फ़ायदे पे है। लेकिन उसको सोचने से पहले, इसके बारे में बताने से पहले मैं ये बता दूं आपको कि अगर कौमों की तारीख़ को देखा जाए तो यकीनन हमारे और ईरान के, इंडिया और ईरान के रवाबित में जो चीज़ असास थी वो अक़दार और अखलाक़ी बुनियाद पर थी, और अर्जिशों और अक़दार की बुनियाद पर हम एक दूसरे को, इंसानी बुनियाद पर हम एक दूसरे से राब्ता रखते थे। ये हमें ईरान और इंडिया की तारीख़ से हमें ये मिलता है।
خب این ارتباطات از بیش از 1000 سال بین ایران و هند برقرار بوده. بسیاری از دانشمندای ایرانی می اومدن هندوستان و از معارف و ادبیات و مسائل علمی که در این کشور دارای تاریخ عمیق و رمزآلود و اسرارآمیز وجود داشته استفاده می‌کردند.
यकीनन इस राबते का और इस रिलेशन को 1000 साल से ज़्यादा की मुद्दत गुज़र चुकी है ईरान और इंडिया के दरमियान, और जो ईरान से जो स्कॉलर्स, जो दानिशमंद और जो उलमा उस ज़माने में आते थे, वो यहाँ के इल्म से, यहाँ के उस ज़माने के उलूम से और यहाँ के रमज़ व राज से आशना होकर इन उलूम को वहाँ तक पहुँचाते थे। वो जानते कि एक ऐसा मुल्क है जो पुरअसरार है, जहाँ इल्म की कमी नहीं।
بسیاری از هنرمندای ایرانی، دانشمندای ایرانی در دربارهای پادشاهانی که در هندوستان اینها حضور داشتند و خدماتی رو به صورت متقابل انجام میدادند و دانشمندان رو در این مملکت بسیار بسیار احترام میکردند. ما میبینیم که خیلی از آثار علمی هنری که به دست دانشمندان ایرانی در هندوستان خلق شده نشان از عمق این ارتباطات فرهنگی و هنری داره.
उस ज़माने में जो ईरानी हुनरमंद यहाँ आते थे, उलमा आते थे, उनके हुनर का इस्तेमाल उस ज़माने के अकबर और दीगर बादशाहों के दरबारों में उनका इस्तेमाल होता था। यकीनन वो ऐसे ख़दमात दे गए, उनके हुनर के आसार हम और आज आप देख रहे हैं, जो यकीनन हुनर सीखते थे और एक हुनर कौमों को सिखाते थे और अपनी ख़दमात वो यहाँ अंजाम देते थे।
غیر از اون ما می‌بینیم که بسیاری مدت مدیدی زبان دربار و رسمی هندوستان زبان فارسی بوده. چیزی نزدیک به 800 سال، 700 تا 800 سال زبان رسمی دیوانی در اینجا زبان فارسی بوده.
और जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं, हिंदुस्तान की दरबारों की ज़बान, बादशाहों की ज़बान तकरीबन 700 से 800 साल
این برنامه ها و این تلاشی که در محافل آکادمیک و اجتماعی صورت میگیره بتونیم بیش از پیش روابط خودمون رو تقویت بکنیم. در آخر هم تشکر میکنم مجددا از دانشگاه و از شما حضار گرامی و السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته.
और समदिया कॉलेज जो एकेडमिक लाइन में इतनी मेहनत करते हैं, और उसमें भी हम इस तरीके से कुछ ना कुछ मदद करके ताउन करके हम इसमें अपने रवाबित को और कवी करना चाहता हूँ मैं। और इसी तरह मैं आप सभी लोगों को एक मरतबा फिर बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार आप लोगों का। अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाह।
Thank you very much, sir. Sir has beautifully taken us through history, shedding light on the deep-rooted connections and shared heritage between the two nations. A heartfelt thank you to you, sir, for your wonderful address. Sir has enlightened and motivated us with a renewed sense of direction and purpose. Your insights have given us much to reflect upon and take forward in our work. Thank you very much. Sorry.
कल्चरल हाउस की तरफ से एक गिफ्ट है मुथीबोरवाला साहब।
Okay. There's a gift here from the Islamic Cultural House for Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala. Thank you very much, sir. With that, we come to the conclusion of this inspirational inaugural session. As we conclude, we reflect on the insights and perspectives shared by our dignified guests. They have provided us with a strong foundation for the discussions ahead and genuinely broadened our comprehension. To formally extend our gratitude, I'd like to invite Khan Muskan from the Department of English to please propose a vote of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum. Honorable President, invite dignitaries and guests, principal and staff, a very good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of Samadiya College of Arts and Commerce, it's my privilege to extend a heartfelt gratitude to all of you for being a part of this two-day multidisciplinary international conference. I take immense pleasure in extending my sincere thanks to the President of the session, Mr. Mohammed Reza Fazel sir, for gracing this event, for inspiring and motivational us. I would also like to express our sincere appreciation to our keynote speaker, Mr. Feroz Mithiborwala, for his insightful and thought-provoking talk. The expertise and contribution of esteemed guests have made this session truly enriching for all of us. Now, I would like to thank our management, Mr. Sharif Hassan Momin sir, Advocate Keef Momin sir, Dr. Abdul Rauf Momin sir, and Advocate Niyaz Momin sir, and all the members of their generous support, without which this event would not have been possible. A special thank goes to the principal of his guidance and support, and of staff for their contribution. Your dedication is deeply appreciated. Lastly, I would like to thank all the attendees for their enthusiasm and presence. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will now have a short tea break of 15 minutes. I request all the dignitaries to kindly be back on time so as to proceed with the plenary session. Thank you. The tea is being served next to the auditorium. Thank you. Sir, start. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you had a refreshing tea break. Now, as we resume, we are set to begin the next highlight of the conference, the plenary session. We have with us our speakers who will share their insights and perspectives. So let us get started. I kindly request our dignified speakers to take their seats on the dais. Dr. Mohammed Faheem and Dr. Tabassum Shaikh. Three of our speakers will be joining us online. Professor Ayman Yusuf, Dr. Shalini Sharma, and Dr. Biswajit Roy Chaudhary. It is with great honor that we now take a moment to facilitate our speakers. I'd like to invite Advocate Chief Momin to felicitate our speaker, Dr. Mohammed Faheem, Professor in Indian Studies, Thammasat University, Bangkok. Advocate Chief Momin. Thank you, sir. I'd like to take this opportunity to felicitate Dr. Tabassum Shaikh myself. Dr. Tabassum Shaikh is the principal of GM Momin Women's College. Now we proceed towards an interesting and informative segment where we will be introducing our expert speakers and gain wisdom from them. Our first speaker of this plenary session is Dr. Mohammed Faheem, Professor in Indian Studies at Prithvi Benamyong University, Thammasat University, in Bangkok. Sir holds a master's and PhD degrees in geography from Aligarh Muslim University in India. His research areas encompass relations of India with Association of Southeast Asian Nations, international migration, urban economic and political geography. Sir has served as a lecturer and visiting research fellow at various universities across Thailand. He has several articles published in national referred journals and has presented his work at various conferences and seminars. Sir has published several book chapters and has edited books as well. He is a member of various advisory committees and is also the recipient of Innovative Faculty Award from Global Human Rights Council for Peace and Sustainable Development. In addition to his academic pursuits, Sir actively engages in public speaking, which is exemplified by his participation in the Fifth World Parliament. His contributions outstandingly enhance the understanding of the academicians about the challenging geopolitical and socio-economic issues in Southeast Asia. Today we have the privilege of hearing him as he sheds light on India-Iran relations in the 21st century. A heartfelt welcome to Dr. Mohammed Faheem with a huge round of applause. Over to you, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. respected organizing committees, my friend, Principal Mohammed Arif, and resource person on the dais, distinguished persons from different colleges, and my dear student, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening to everyone. I am very much pleased and honored to be here to participate this very important international conference on Indo-Iran relationship in different perspective. As far as my introduction, first of all, thank you for giving my introduction, kind introduction. As far as this subject is concerned, of course, it is a very touching to me, simply because I just follow what in the inauguration session, Member of Parliament rightly said, we have to understand to each other. Once again, my name is Faheem, meaning by understand. So we have to be understand, and today world, you cannot be living isolated because world is connected. So you have to know what other country is about, because interdependent world. So in that regard, today I am going to touch, because my background is geography, and to me, geography give me a lot, because geography is the mother of all sciences. When I was student, first thing in your mind when you think about geography, of course, you will think about river, plant, whatever you learn, but actually not. We learn everything: economic geography, political geography, medical geography, tourism geography. So that is why this seminar touched me a lot, because it is a multidisciplinary approach. And since I am working in Thailand, this is my first job place. When I joined Thailand, I went to Thailand as a tourist after complete my PhD. And I started my journey to teach in school, and then after the university. So in that regard, I learn a lot. I interact, of course, the people from Iran in Thailand itself, and somehow I am a little bit engaged to work with them as well. So I just go for my topic, which Muhammad Arif Bhai asked me what topic you are going to talk. I said that in Indian-Iran relation in 21st century. I always believe, if you go the history, particularly for 20th century or 21st century, any event is taken place, they have changed the dynamics of world politics. So if you talk about the change of dynamics of world politics, it means that change the relationship. Same way, India-Iran relationship go with this. I go with this. I will not go much detail, because we have already talked about we have 1,000 of years have relationship. And one thing I would like to highlight, why we are very close, because 70% of our Indian population, they are come from Aryan ethnic group. So-called as Aryan means land of Iran. It means there is things. Of course, migration is one of the important things which cultural go on one place to another place. For your information, India is a land of immigrant people. 92% of Indian people, somehow from the historical perspective, they are immigrant, they come from different. So in this way, the people come from the Central Asia, so-called Aryan. So they also come here, they bring their culture, interact with this, and later period of time, whatever the culture, art, architecture, language, to be used by Indian rulers. We have example of Mughals, because they ruled 1526 to 1957. In between, language of Persia is administrative talk. So a lot of, because language, if any country adopt the language, it means language is a very important vehicles of the culture. So it means somehow very close to culture. So in that perspective, I must say, this is a very close relationship. And once again, I would like to say that the people-to-people contact is the only way to enhance the contact. In the past, most cultural contact was through the trade. It has happened. So I will go with the after independent India. 1947 is a very important day for India, and that time, of course, we are a little bit keep away from the border neighbors, because before United India, when you talk, Pakistan was with India, so we are neighbor of Iran. So that is why we have a relation. So 1950, when we have a treaty of friendship in 15 March 1950, and if you see what Iran that time, the way they go, what India they go. Of course, they already mentioned India go for non-alignment movement, neither they go for USSR, neither they go for so-called as USA. So this is a neutral part, non-alignment movement. So of course, that time Iran under the Shah was very close. So then another turning point happened in Iran. 1979 is a very historical day. Islamic nation become again, and of course the USSR that time is much closer to Iran after the Islamic. At the same time, Iran, India also somehow is not very much good relation when they become Islamic, but that is why when you see the Iraq war, Iran-Iraq war was happened, is the 8-year war between 1980 to 1988. India somehow inclined toward the Iraq. But again, I say that every movement changed the dynamics of the relationship. Then, you know what happened in 1991 in India? LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization, new economic policy arrived. So India is look forward for economic perspective. In this regard, Iran play a very significant
Dr.
role.
Arif sir,
So they have economic
Biswajit Roy
relationship
sir are
between
joined.
India and Iran, because in order to move for economy, energy play a very significant role. So that is why, and you know that Iran is one of the important exporter of oil and gases. At the same time, there is a cultural relation, civilizational relation,
whether the
were
program
already
is
there
going on
between
or
India
it's
and Iran, so that is why they have economic relation. But over a period of time, we have when we enter in 21st century, in 2001, our principal already mentioned about Atal Bihari Vajpayee. That time, they have a treaty between two countries, and followed by the then president of Iran also visited. So they have a lot of agreement between two in order to strategic cooperation between two nations in 2003. Again, when you see about the relation go well, and again, the world is more, you can say the multilateral. So in this regard, India-Iran relationship go very good in terms of the economic relation. Of course, the oil, India already depend on the import of oils from Iran. But at the same time, the world dynamics has been changed. And of course, the 2014 once again is very significant role to play for relationship, especially the political relationship. Somehow, because of the Indian intention to have diversify their energy sector and diversify their economy export, so in order to enter the Central Asia, so, and also the Afghanistan, we know that we have a not good relation with our neighbors, Pakistan. So in order to reaching that area, so they have come forward to have a cooperation of to build Chabad port in 2015. And this is a very important, because in that way, both the countries and India have very major role to play to develop that port. And that is a very geo-economic implication in terms of connectivity to reach all that. So I think as of now, every country, when they make the relationship with other countries, economic interest is the first as I told you, this is a very fundamental. So Indian economic intention is over there, either in terms of the oil, either in terms of the reaching the market of Central Asia and Afghanistan, so-called, because India already have a lot of work in Afghanistan. So that is why they want to be more focused on Chabad port for connectivity. At the opposite side, I must say that no one can be ignore India, even China. We have to see why, simply because of our demography. 1.4 billion population. It is not a small number. It is a big consumer market we call demand. And why India is so essential and so good for every country they look forward? Because Indian democracy is somehow appreciated every part of the corner. So if you see 1947 till now, if you analyze the democratic path of India, this is a very, very important. Never go any kind of disturbance in between. There is some patches of coming, but still we are more democratic country. Not only the national level, we have 3-tier level. We are more stable democratically. So whatever the mandate is arrived, every people accept. So other country also think about there is a no political stability in India. So this is the one very prime factor. Market, you mean demand. Demand means market, democracy, and demography. Okay? So in that way, every country, they have tried to, of course, every country have. So in this regard, India has a very smart foreign policy. In my point of view, always been there. They have the balanced relation between the friend and enemy, and in the geopolitical term, there is a no permanent friend and enemy. Okay? So in this regard, there is a smart balance, and of course, in this regard, both countries have a very linkage, and of course, what we eat today, when I explain, I asked to my student in my class, do you like the Indian food? What do you like it? He says, kebab, Sikh kebab. But this is not India, actually. This is come from that area. I love to eat kebab, Sikh kebab, okay? So this is actually they don't know about that, but we have an example of what relation we have, and we are impact. And I think most important thing, kind of conference, give to the platform, those who are listeners here, they have to understand every country is important, and before you make the relation, you have to be understand. So in order to, you have to people contact is very important, either educational. Education is a one very important factor. A lot of student exchange programs. You just announced that you offer a lot of program for study. So in this also you can make the impact and to try to understand. For example, if nowadays everyone think about China, of course, China is a sleeping, rising superpower. And in this regard, now every country try to understand what is China is about, because China is much open than before. People will go and you can observe that what is there. So in this regard, what I understand about the Iran, I was offered by many times, not offered, just asked me someone to, we will bring, and of course those who went, my Thai colleagues, they are impressed a lot. What I will share one quotation. Maybe I just listened from former Iranian ambassador to Thailand when in some program. Because Iran itself is a one unique country, unique in the sense in their own way. There is no other Persian, what we call civilization, you can find other. And so this is why you have to be understand why everyone talk about Iran, why everyone talk about China. So that is something they have. That is how to manage their resources, how to manage, empower their human resources to collaborate in the prosperous of the country. So I must say, even I never been there, but being a geographer, I also believe in the observation. What I read, what I observe, that matching. But what I read, what I met, and what kind of activities I involved with the Iranian, I think Iranian is also very rich civilization and economy, how they know how to use their resources. There is also resources. And one thing I would like to be add here in regard to the Indo-Iranian relationship. India also has Shia population. It is the fourth largest population. If I am right, first in Iran, second in Iraq, in terms of absolute number. In terms of absolute number, this is the fourth largest. So this largest number is very important role to play internal politics. But when we talk about internal politics, always internal politics relevant to the external relationship. Remember about that. So whatever you have to be in power, this is the impact on external relationship. So this is a very, very significant, fourth largest population in terms of absolute number, Shia population. So they have some legacy, some sympathy with the Iranians because they are follow there. Okay? So this is the kind of things. And remember that as of now, what I can say, as I told you, in India, foreign policy is very smart enough since they have independent, they have neutral policies, but at the same time, dynamics has been changed always, as I told you that. So there is no permanent friends and few, but they have to take their national interest. So I have many things to talk, but this is my perspective, being a geographer, but I am a keen observer, keen learner. So what my perspective on that. And once again, thank you, Arif Bhai, for inviting me, giving this opportunity to express my views. And I will be talk tomorrow, and my topic will be geo-economic implication of Chahawar port, how perspective of Iran and India relationship. So thank you once again, everyone, for listening patiently. Thank you very much.
A sincere thank you to you, sir, for your impressive talk. Your in-depth analysis and expert perspectives have given us a profound comprehension of the evolving Indo-Iran relations and their broader implications. It has provided us with valuable food for thought for the policymakers, scholars, and students. We appreciate the expertise and knowledge that you have shared with us. Thank you very much. Keeping this momentum going, let us move forward to our next speaker, Dr. Tabassum Shaikh, the esteemed principal of GM Momin Women's College, Bhiwandi. Madam began her academic journey specializing in philosophy and subsequently earned a doctorate degree in philosophy of human rights from University of Mumbai. Her enthusiasm in her field led her to serve as the head of the Department of Philosophy at GM Momin College. Beyond her departmental responsibilities, Madam has been an active member of the academic community. She is a PhD and member of the Board of Studies in Logic and Philosophy at the University of Mumbai, thereby contributing towards the development and refinement of academic programs at the university. Madam has authored several books, published chapters and articles in reputed journals. As a principal, Madam is committed towards empowering women through quality education, and under her leadership, the college continues to uphold this mission, enabling women to face future challenges with confidence. Her experience and expertise has made her a venerated leader in the academic community, and her dedication to educational superiority is truly commendable. So let us avail this opportunity to hear her invaluable thoughts and views through her talk on structuring Iran through the lenses of philosophy. So please put your hands together to give a warm welcome to Dr. Tabassum Shaikh.
Assalamu alaikum, and a very good evening to one and all present here. I especially thank the management of Weavers Education Society and Samadiya High School, Samadiya College for keeping such a wonderful collaboration with Iran Culture House and in arranging this program, this two-day international conference. Holding an international conference in a semi-rural area like Bhiwandi is not a small thing. It's a very big achievement, I believe, that this management thought and they gave it a green signal. And here today we have this thing going on. I thank Mr. Mohammed Reza Fazel for collaborating with this college. Iran Culture House, he's the director of Iran Culture House, and so thoughtfully that you have collaborated with the college. Dr. Mohammed Faheem for giving a wonderful lecture on Iran and its economic and political background. Mr. Principal of Samadiya College, Mr. Dr. Muhammed Arif. And once again, a very big thank you and a gratefulness and a gratitude that we are keeping the academic torch alive in this locality. This is very, very important for all of us. As we all know that, that it's an Indo-Iran, or we say in Iran, we are all speaking with the background of Iran into consideration. And let me tell you that I had the fortune, just because I just was telling the director also, I had the fortune of visiting Iran in some time back. And at that time, the president was Mr. Ahmadinejad, a very dynamic president of Iran, I can tell you. And you won't believe that, but I went there, it was sponsored by UNESCO. I am not boasting about what I want to tell you is that when the president, Mr. Ahmadinejad, he spoke for, it was a philosophical, what is called as a symposium, International Philosophical Congress, and the topic was Jalaluddin Rumi, mysticism of Jalaluddin Rumi. You all know, if you all know who is Rumi. He is one of the very great philosophers, a very great physician of Persia, of Iran. And the president spoke about Rumi. It was not just 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. He spoke for 1.5 hours only on Rumi. You can imagine a president who is so politically obliged, a president who is so politically boggled with so much work, and he can speak on Rumi. So, and it was something like, I that time felt, when we talk about philosophy, that a person who is a king should also be a philosopher. Okay? A person who is holding administration should also have a vision. So this is what I really appreciated. I really appreciated that he could speak non-stop on Rumi. And Rumi is not a small philosopher. Rumi is a person who has a lot of depth. His philosophy is full of epistemology, metaphysics, poetry, mysticism, everything. Okay? And a president of Iran speaking on him for such a long time, it means that that president must have had a vision. That president must have had a leaning and a yearning towards philosophy and literature. So he was not just a good, at that time, he was considered as one of the most dynamic presidents of Iran. And he spoke on that, so it can be, it is as Plato's philosophy talks about a philosopher king. A person who is a king, a person who is an administrator should also have a vision. So here I start okay, how do we structure Iran through the lenses of philosophy? Because Iran is considered as one of the most, what is called as, can you start the PPT if it is possible for you? Iran is considered as one of the most See of the most very good philosophers, I can tell you, intelligent philosophers. And at that time, when Iran was going through this phase of mysticism, you know, mysticism ka matlab hai Sufism and philosophy. Every philosophy. So the Iranian philosophers, they took a lot from the Greek philosophers. And now what, see, for any country to shape up and any country to come into form, you need a solid philosophical base. When I say philosophy, it means the ethical foundations should be very, very strong. The ethical foundations. जब हम किसी की शख्सियत की बात करते हैं, किसी की पर्सनालिटी की बात करते हैं, तो उसकी शख्सियत होता है उसका एथिकल पर्सनालिटी. हम उसके एथिकल पर्सनालिटी प्लेज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब एथिक्स क्या होता है, जो हम जिसे हम इखलाक बोलते हैं, ओके, द गुड एंड द बैड, द राइट एंड द रॉन्ग, दैट इज़ व्हाट इज़ ऑल अबाउट एथिक्स. ओके, सो can you just go on to the next PPT? Just go to the next slide, please. So when we talk about the philosophical background, this the prophet, the person who laid the foundation was Zarathustra. And Zarathustra spoke about what is called as the good thoughts, good deeds, and good actions, and good behavior. So the Persia per se, whether the Muslim rule came afterwards, but Persia per se had a solid foundation of ethics. Remember that. Persia per se had a solid foundation of ethics. Next slide, please. And Iran was considered as a cradle of intellectual achievement. Literature was there. At the same time, science also flourished. Now, at that time, remember that now everything is so compartmentalized, you know, okay, theek hai, we have a certain scientist. A scientist is only a scientist. A philosopher is only a philosopher. A poet is only a poet. But at that time, they were all together one person, then one whole personality. A person of philosophy knew what is science. A person of science knew what is philosophy. A person of philosophy needed to be very good in mathematics and logic. Okay, that was the case. So they had an extremely good foundation of mathematics and logic, and then only they could apply that to their philosophy. It was like that. Can we go to the next slide, please? So they had a number of what is called as philosophers: Ibn Sina, Al-Farabi, Jalaluddin Rumi. Okay, all these philosophers played. Al-Biruni, Sohrawardi. You have the mystical, what is called as, if you go through the mystics, you see the Sohrawardi has played a very, very important role. So the ethical foundations which they got, the Persian philosophers, the ethics which they got was embracing rational discourse. You know that we all belong to, per se at that time it was very, very dogmatic. Everything was very dogmatic. अब dogmatic मतलब जैसे बोलते हैं very conservative, थोड़ा सा traditional था, okay? But यहाँ पर उनको Greek philosophy से एक foundation मिला, और वो foundation था rational discourse का. Rational discourse मतलब कहीं भी हमको हमारे reason और हमारे intellect से काम करना है. तो जैसे सोक्रेटिस थे, एरिस्टोटल थे, प्लेटो थे, ये फिलोसोफर्स थे वहाँ उस ग्रीक में. तो यहाँ पर भी उन लोगों ने कैसे, जब भी सोक्रेटिस ने जब भी अपनी फिलोसफी स्टार्ट किए थे, तो व्हाट वाज दैट? dialogue, to talk. How did philosophy develop? To talk, to dialogue, to have a dialogue, to have to talk to somebody. जब तुम किसी से बात करते हो तो तुम्हारे concepts clear होते हैं. अगर तुम किसी से बात नहीं करोगे तो आपके concepts कैसे clear होंगे? तो ये Socratic method आपने कभी सुना होगा, Socratic method. ये Socratic method क्या होता है? उस वक्त वो लोग मार्केट प्लेस में जाते थे, उस वक्त वो लोग बातचीत करते थे। अब वो वहाँ के वो यूथ होते थे तो वो लोग अपने व्यूज़ बताते कि फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट इज़ द मीनिंग ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप, फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट इज़ द मीनिंग ऑफ करेज। तो दे यूज टू से फ्रेंडशिप इज़ दिस, फ्रेंडशिप इज़ दैट, करेज मीन्स दिस। तो उस तरीके से डेफिनेशंस उस वक्त बनते थे। The definitions used to be formulated in that way by asking a number of people, and maximum people who used to give that particular definition, that particular statement, that used to become a definition. Clear all of you all? So this is how philosophy progressed in Greece, and this is how it progressed in Persia also. In today's Iran also, they developed critical thinking, they developed empowering the youth in in problem solving. Okay, so they engaged the youth, even though they had what is called as I told you, we at that time, तो तुमको मालूम है kings, monarchy ये सब होता था, but उसके बावजूद the class of philosophers who came, they had a very critical thinking. They had a thinking to get involved, to get and the critical thinking used to criticize the government also at that time. They were called the people who were teaching philosophy. They were called the sophist. Sophist वो होते थे, उस वक्त एक नया concept था जिसको हम आम दिनों में teacher बोलते हैं, उस वक्त उसका था sophist. The sophists were those people who used to teach the youth and they used to charge money for that. Today we all teachers are sophists. Okay. Life, how do we live a good life? Even that dialogues used to take place. A good life is that which is we are happy together, we are living with a family, we are living all in a very good society where everything is very fair, everything is very just, everything is being taken care. The king is like a father, he should be like a father to everybody. So that was the good life, and in that way the things used to proceed. Next slide please. So this gave a solid background to the Iranian philosophers also, and now we talk about Ibn Sina's philosophy in and Persian we call as Ibn Sina. Now he played a very pivotal role in philosophizing. Okay, and his two books were there, that is the medical healing, no, sorry, just a moment, I'll just go through. The two books which were published by him, okay, one was on medicine, and mind you, at that time I told you that they were excellent physicians also, and they were excellent what is called as philosophers also. And excellent they were excellent astronomers also. They used to study the starry nights. They used to understand the planets, the sun, the moon, everything. So Ibn Sina played a very important role in shaping Iran. He was a very good philosopher. He was a very good, he had this towards music and poetry, and all their emphasis was only on the intellect, only on rationality. Okay, so remember at that time that there was not a very conservative attitude, जो एक हम जिसको कहते हैं दखियानुसी वाला attitude नहीं था उस वक्त. They were so very rational and they were so very open to all the what is called as education coming from the Greek philosophy. And as I told you, he was such a good physician, you know, that and he was a good lover of art, music, poems, and because he was a good physician. Now the very fact that हम physician doctor के पास you go, so they feel your pulse, isn't it? So he used to feel the pulse. He was so good at feeling the pulse of the patient. At the same time, reading that pulse, he used to compose poems also. He used to compose poems, and he used to understand the personality of that person by just feeling the pulse. Okay, so that was his love for poems, that was his love for music, and at that time music was just not music. Music can be the azan also, that how musical it is and how nice. Ibn Sina, he shaped what is called as today's Iran, today's what is called as Iran, or and at that time it was called Persia, and today it was called as Iran. Next slide, please. Yeah, Al-Farabi's philosophy also totally dependent. Society was a utopian society where the king is the ruler, but he is also like a father figure to his people. Okay, so Al-Farabi, he gave a very good, it was not a kind of like, see, when the kings are there, monarchs are there, definitely tyranny comes. Definitely what is called as aggressive administration comes. But he gave a very utopian, a very imaginary kind of a concept of virtuous society. And what was that virtuous society? That everybody should be treated very, very fairly in their country. Okay, and he said that there is a special place of the king, there is a special place of the people. The king is obliged to its people, the people have a duty towards the king. So he spoke about rights and duties simultaneously, Al-Farabi. Okay. Then he also introduced the youth to develop the Persian literature. So in that way, all of them, this Al-Farabi, Ibn Sina, they gave a solid what is called as culture to the youth of Persia. Next. Allah, no, it's not like that. But whatever Jalaluddin Rumi, he is called, he's a mystical philosopher, whatever he has given, what was it that he has given? He has spoken extensively on evolution of the world, how the world came into existence. He spoke extensively on the concept of emanation. Now, what is emanation and what is evolution? He spoke about Adam's fall. Adam alayhi salam ke baare mein unhone zikr bhi kiya hai. Okay? Ki why his fall came? Why did he fall? Why did God remove him from the paradise? And the thing which was given was that because ultimately when God made this world, when Allah Ta'ala made this world, it was because he found divinity in everything. Divinity ka matlab hai कि he gave respect to each and every creature in this world, okay? But a time came the people fell off. The people did not live up to his expectation, okay? The people did not live up to his expectation, and there the downfall came. And the first downfall was of Adam alayhi salam, okay? Because he lost his divinity. He lost his divinity. So in that way the fall came, and then, but that fall was not the ultimate. Then whatever has fallen, whether we take the sun, the moon, the planets, the satellite as inanimate objects. But Rumi says that God, when he made this world, he put life into everything, and he always treated them that they are at par with human beings. So we cannot imagine a life without earth or water, fire, air. We cannot imagine at all. Similarly, he said, because God has given equal status to every philosophy through the Iran through the lenses of philosophy, because philosophy has played a very crucial role in giving a solid establishment and a solid base to Iran, remember, okay? And that philosophy, till today, you have excellent people, excellent thinkers, excellent scholars in the whole of Iran. Do we have the next slide, please? So in this way, I can say that today also we have contemporary thinkers, and these contemporary thinkers are so engrossed in philosophizing, because we need to balance tradition and modernity. The Hegelian dialogue. Now what is Hegelian dialogue? That for anything, जैसा कोई power में है तो naturally इसमें opposition वाले भी रहते हैं, correct? अगर मैं बोले I am very powerful और मुझे opposition की सुनना ही नहीं है, तो क्या मैं power में बहुत दिन तक रह सकती हूँ? नहीं. So that is called as Hegelian dialecticism, okay? Philosophers who gave a very what is called as strong support to their country by what is called as supporting the policies, the modern policies of Iran, okay? So in that way, next slide please. The global perspective, the cosmopolitanism, yes, maybe some people still feel okay. But let me tell you, they have technologically been very strong, literally they have been very strong, okay? Maybe the policy might not allow them to have a free mix of cosmopolitanism, but they have definitely done a lot. Last slide it will be. So what we want to, by honoring the legacy, philosophy, Rumi's philosophy, all these philosophies which were dynamic at that time comes back again to a new existence. And as philosophy has played a very important role at that time, let philosophy also play a very important role now in bringing a very good what is called as serene relations with other countries, as well as altogether a serene and tranquil atmosphere in Iran. Thank you so much.
Madam, you put so much of energy into your talk and you had us all engrossed. So thank you very much. We are truly honored to have this opportunity to hear you, to listen you on your captivating talk on Iran, the philosophers, and your personal experiences. Your competence to intertwine philosophical thoughts and socio-political fabric of Iran has offered us a unique and intriguing perspective. Immensely grateful to you, ma'am, for the extensive knowledge that you have delivered. So thank you very much. As we continue with our session, we are pleased to welcome our speakers who will be joining us virtually. Although distance separates us physically, technology has brought us together, allowing us to hear them. We have 3 speakers lined up who will be joining us online. Professor Chaudhary, Assistant Professor at Vidyasagar College, Kolkata. We kindly request our online speakers to please join us.
To India. And I hope in the future we are going to meet and to interact. We can present talks on Palestine. Right now, I teach in the Arab American University of Palestine, Jenin campus. Jenin is a small city in the north of West Bank. And currently under Israeli invasion, we have a huge invasion right now going on in the refugees camp just at the outskirts of the of the city, and we teach online. We teach our students through online Zoom teaching, because our students cannot access our campus. All roads and main streets, just linking university with Jenin and with other towns, are really blocked. There is security checkup by the Israeli forces, and this is our daily trauma. This is a real, personal and professional trauma for all, Palestinians, especially in Jenin. And this is the situation that we need to adapt, that we need to co-opt with. My presentation, in order to make use of time, my presentation about Iran foreign policy. Indeed, I wrote my PhD on American-Iranian relations after 1979 till the end of Muhammad Khatami era, and Professor Dulib Mohiti was my supervisor. I used, containment theory as my approach, and in my thesis I argued that the US is intended to contain Iran rather than confronting it. It is to co-opt with. My presentation, in order to make use of time, my presentation about Iran foreign policy. Indeed, unfortunately, I can hear the echo of my voice, Professor Mohammed. After 1979, so my talk will go to that, to that direction. We cannot understand, Indian Iranian relations without taking into consideration some, huge geopolitical and geoeconomic factors, such as, the relation with the Gulf countries. India relation with the Gulf countries is not separated from India relations with Iran, especially with Saudi Arabia and with some other GCC countries, because there is a rivalry between Iran and Saudi Arabia. We have to bring into the strategic game also the factor of Pakistan. Pakistan is also another variable and another factor that brings more debate and more strategic relationship between, Iran, and of course when we say Pakistan, so it is an extension also to Afghanistan and Central Asia, because this is another, another big factor that we need, to focus on. We have to bring into the game, the US factor, US Israel factor. Today, India is very much closer to the US and Israel, unlike, before 20 years. I think during Congress era, when Congress was ruling in India, India was a bit closer to the Palestinian cause, to the Iranian cause, to them, to some Arab causes. But I think with the rise of PGB government and the rise of a new political party, I think a new fashion, has been, I think, influence Indian foreign policy. So today, India has more strategic options with the US, with Israel, and with Western countries. Although India is maintaining strong relationship with Russia, because Russia is, the inheritor of the Soviet Union, and during the Cold War, as you know, India was the main founder of non-alignment movement, and during Indira Gandhi era and later on Rajiv Gandhi, India maintained a strong strategic partnership with the Soviet Union and with many Arab countries, especially Jamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, even Saddam Hussein in Iraq, Hafez al-Assad in Syria. Yasser Arafat has, had a close personal relationship with Mrs. Gandhi and all that stuff. But I think today the orientations and the priorities, strategic priorities of India foreign policy are totally different. When it comes to the Middle East, and when it comes to them, it is the relation with Muslim countries such as Iran and some others. So we have to keep in mind this emerging strategic partnership, between India, Israel, and the US. I don't exaggerate, even if I say that even this partnership is also strengthening with some moderate Arab countries, with United Arab Emirates, with Saudi Arabia, and this huge alliance is now extending, from the Middle East till Indian Ocean, I think even till the Pacific Ocean. Today, the Americans are thinking of having this strategic umbrella where they can bring, India, Japan, Australia to contain any future, a political and geopolitical aspiration of China. China is a huge factor also, and I guess we cannot also understand India-Iran relations without China factor, Silk Road that is coming across Central Asia, bordering with Iran, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and the Chinese efforts to reach the warm water in the Gulf, and in extension to the eastern part of Africa. As Chinese economic diplomacy is extremely active. China is trying also to contain, I think, Indian influence. And I think the strategic approach from these two Asian superpowers, India and Asia, and I still remember, our lectures with the Professor Mohd, when he used to argue that India is the fourth great power after the USSR, Russia today, and China. India is emerging, and India has its own also inspirations as well as aspirations at political, economic, and the strategic level. And we believe that although India has a strong relations with Israel, but still it is maintaining warm, very warm relations with the Palestinian cause, with Arab countries. But sometimes we have to make this divorce between our emotional feelings and the realist and the pragmatic approach that we generally apply it, in foreign policy. So Israeli factor, also is another factor that we should keep it, into consideration. The Israeli as well as the American factor. This diversity and divergence of power in international politics and international relations, and the diversity of power in South Asia and in the Middle East, I think is also impacting India relations with Iran, as well as with some other, and with some other Arabian countries, especially Saudi Arabia. If we say about Iran today, if we want to understand contemporary Iran after 1979, the great Shia revolution or Islamic revolution, call it in the way you like it. Iran is a huge country in West Asia, and I like this Indian terminology. We use to say it is West Asia rather than the Middle East. Why I love Indian academia? Because they have their own terminologies, they have their own vocabularies, they have their own inventive orientations when to understand international politics. When you come to the Middle East, to Palestine, Israel, Saudi Arabia, we are familiar with the Middle East, but I love, this West Asian. I traveled to West Asia Center with Jawaharlal Nehru. I went to Aligarh Muslim University, West Asia Center, and some other West Asian centers everywhere in different, Indian academia and Indian institutions. And so Iran is a major power, major country in West Asia, around 100 million in population. I think it is second after Egypt. Egypt, 110 millions in terms of population. Iran is 100 million. It has a huge area, around 1,006,000, square kilometer. And from geopolitical perspective and geostrategic perspective, it has border with Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Turkmenistan. This is northwest near Caucasia region, Caucasia, and this is in extension with Central Asia. So this is the west and north part of the country, and it has also common border with Turkey as a main actor in the Middle East, as well as with Iraq, with Afghanistan, and with Pakistan. Before 1948, India was bordering Iran, because Pakistan in those days was part of Indian subcontinent. But after the partition of Indian subcontinent and the emergence of Pakistan, so Pakistan emerged as a buffer country, or a sandwich country. This is small sandwich separating, Indian subcontinent from the Iranian, from the Iranian terrain and from the Iranian territory. Therefore, and hence we feel there is huge, cultural, not only economic and political relations. We feel we are very much closer, to Indians, even at cultural level. When I stayed in India for 10 years, I never faced a problem of adapting with Indian culture, with Indian food, with Indian way of life. And during my stay in Aurangabad for 3 years, I stayed with a Muslim family in Roshan Gate area. And when I traveled to Barud, I stayed with a Hindu old lady. She is also my guru, Padma bin Dave, real Brahmin lady. She taught me English. She taught me how to be calm when you speak. She taught me many things. So even at cultural level, even at this cultural level, we feel we are very much welcomed. We are very much, warmed. We are very much, adapting to all that stuff. Yes, Professor Muhammad, I'll make my presentation. When you feel that I supposed to stop, yes, I can, I can stop there. So don't worry, because we can handle part of this presentation through your questions and your debate and all that stuff. So when it comes to Iranian foreign policy, I can speak myself. Okay, Professor. Okay, Professor Mu'arraf, yes. When it comes to the foundation of Iranian foreign policy, there are certain foundations, strategic foundation. One of them, Iran is very much sensitive to any foreign presence, especially in the Gulf, and in the Middle East. They have that sensitivity from American, maritime presence, a kind of American establishment, American presence in Syria, in the Gulf, and their presence also in Qatar, in Bahrain, in Doha, and all. So Iran is very much sensitive to this foreign also, because during Shah regime, the US, Israel, and many other Arab countries, Western countries supported Shah. So this is one principle, and I think this principle has some common things with India when it comes to managing relations in the Indian Ocean, as well as in the Persian, Arabian Gulf, name it in the way you would. The second principle Iran, same like India, intended to develop very strong relation with third world countries, third world powers, like Group 77, non-alignment, countries, in Latin America, in Africa, in Asia, strong relation with Iran, strong relation with China, strong relation, with India, with China, with Malaysia, Indonesia, Brazil, South Africa, even in Latin America, if you go to Venezuela, Colombia. So Iran is intending to develop this, this circle of strategic alliances and partnership in order to break this sanctions, because Iran is heavily sanctioned by the US and many other so Iran is really serious to enlarge. It is way of having more relations with some other countries. And another principle in their foreign policy, Iran is trying to reach Shia communities in the Middle East. They consider it a bargaining chip. Their policy in Iraq, 60% of the population are Shia. Their relations with Syria, maybe 15 to 20%. And in Yemen, and at the same time they support Baleya. So what is the point here? I think Iran policy of support. Professor Mohammed, I can hear you. It is not muted. Yes. So let me conclude here. I have many points. When it comes, to understanding India-Iran relations. I'm sorry, maybe I make it more general. But still, I can conclude. Professor Khan, I can hear the sada of your voice. You are not muted. Yes. Okay, let me conclude here. By saying that the current Iranian policy of extending its influence beyond Iran, I think this creates a problem for Iran. Okay. Professor Muhammad Arif, I can hear you. I can hear my voice. I think because you are not muted. Let me stop here. I don't want to take, more time. I have many things, to say when it comes, to the question answer session. I'm very much pleased to be part of this session, although I did not complete my presentation, but I would love to hear, other Indian friends and colleagues who are going to speak, and then we can, interact fruitfully and productively through questions and answers, inshallah. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best for the whole, sessions and for the whole seminar and conference. Thank you.
So can I start with
Scholarly perspective and insights have bridged distances and brought forth a fascinating discussion. Your expertise and eloquence have enriched our understanding on the subject. So thank you very much. We apologize for the technical glitch and appreciate your patience and understanding. As we continue with the session, I'd now like to introduce our next speaker joining us virtually, Dr. Shalini Sharma. an academician and researcher, currently serving as an assistant professor at Government College, Nalagarh in Himachal Pradesh. Madam is a dedicated scholar, and her research interests include nanoparticles, nanocomposites, nanotechnology, and their applications. She has more than 15 years of teaching experience in government colleges across Himachal. She has authored 4 books and has several research papers published. Madam is a member of various research and academic associations. She is a lifetime member of Chandigarh Region Innovative and Knowledge Cluster, HIM Science Congress Association, and Indian Association of Physics Teachers. It's a pleasure to join you online. We look forward to your talk on Indo-Iran relations in the realm of technology. Please welcome Shalini Sharma, Professor Shalini Sharma. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to present before you my talk on Indo-Iran relations in the realm of technology. So this presentation is presented by me, Dr. Shalini. I'm working as assistant professor in physics. So when Mohammed Arif sir told me about a talk on Indo-Iran relations, so I was little, in dilemma that what will I speak about Indo-Iran relations
in the realm
being a
of
physics
technology.
professor. So I have linked
So
it with
this
the
presentation
technology,
is presented
with the
by
realm
me,
of
Dr.
technology, and how Indo-Iran relations are characterized by it. So the Indo-Iran relations, they are characterized by cooperation in several areas. Is my presentation visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So is my presentation visible?
Hello.
So the
Shali
relations,
ma'am. What?
yes, sir.
No.
No. One second. So I'm trying 1 minute. I'm not able to show it here, but it's okay. I'll speak about it and you will be able to, I think, understand the things. So, the Indo-Iran relations, they are characterized by the cooperation in several areas. Despite the challenges posed by the geopolitical factors, as we know, the sanctions on India-Iran strategic interests. So, these relations primarily span areas like information technology, and cybersecurity, telecommunications, renewable energy, space research, medical technology, and healthcare, and educational and research collaborations. So, India and Iran, they have a history of collaboration in science and technology from 2003, when the General Agreement on Scientific and Technical Cooperation was signed in 2003. And this agreement aims to strengthen relations between the scientific communities of both nations by facilitating the joint research projects and promoting partnerships between R&D centers and the enterprises. Then in 2018, DST, Department of Science and Technology of India, and Iran's Ministry of Science, Research and Technology, MSRT, they jointly agreed to fund 12 high-ranking projects in areas such as human health, animal biotechnology, and water. And additionally, both the countries have expressed a shared interest in developing an ICT in Chabahar port, as sir also talked about it, Arif sir, aiming to enhance the cooperation in the ICT sector. Now, when we come to the information technology and the cyber security part, so the key players like in India, the key players are TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, Wipro, and HCL Technologies. They have historically offered IT solutions to Iran, ranging from ERP systems to software development and infrastructure management. So even in soft skills and training, India has involved in providing technical training and certifications to Iranian professionals and helping them to upskill the local workforce in advanced IT practices. India has also assisted Iran in implementing e-government projects to improve public service delivery and governance. So this includes initiatives around digital governance, e-services, and e-citizenship. Now, when we come to the cyber security cooperation, as we know, both the countries, they share concerns regarding the cyber security, and they have planned political collaborations to strengthen their capabilities in this domain. India and Iran have explored many ways to cooperate on cyber defense, particularly in the areas like data protection, infrastructure security, and the cloud security. And when we come to the telecommunication part, the key players like Bharti and the Tata Communication, Bharti Airtel and the Tata Communications, they have been involved in providing services to Iran, particularly in the areas of broadband and internet connectivity. Internet penetration and digital services, if we go through that, then India's experience in expanding broadband and internet infrastructure, it has been valuable for Iran, and India has shared expertise on expanding the fiber optic networks and improving their internet penetration and offering the digital services. When we come to the renewable energy, as we know, India explored its renewable part very well, like the solar energy, the wind energy, the hydropower. India has explored it very well. So Iran also has a vast potential in these solar and wind energy, and India, which is expanding in this renewable sector, it has engaged in technology transfer and joint projects in this field. So Indian companies has involved in providing solar technology and expertise to Iran. And hydropower, India has also explored the collaboration in hydropower and energy storage technologies, focusing on sustainable energy projects. When we come to the space and the satellite cooperation, India has a space agency, which is known as ISRO, as we all know. It has worked on limited but growing basis with Iranian space entities, and India has helped Iran in areas like satellite technology and launching the satellites for Iran's telecommunication purposes. And ISRO has launched Iranian satellites using India's launch vehicles, primarily the PSLV, which is the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. And the satellites which are launched by Iran, they are Rasad-1 and the Navid, which was launched in 2012, and the Fajr, which was launched in 2015, Zafar, which is launched in 2020. Now, when we come to the medical technology and the healthcare, India is a key leader in pharmaceutical and medical technology, and Iran has benefited from the imports of Indian-made drugs and medical services. And the Indian exports to Iran, they were valued at $2 billion annually. And India's pharmaceutical giants like Sun Pharma, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Lupin, they have been actively involved in supplying essential medicines to Iran. Also, generic drugs and the vaccine supplies. India is a key supplier of vaccine for the diseases like polio, hepatitis, and flu to Iran. When we come to the educational and research collaborations, there are many university collaborations like academic exchange programs. India and Iranian universities like University of Tehran, Allama Iqbal Open University, and the University of Delhi, they collaborate in the field ranging from humanities to science and engineering. The Iranian universities with Indian affiliations, there are many Iranian students study in Indian institutes, particularly in the fields of engineering, medicine, and social sciences. And on the other hand, Indian universities host Iranian scholars contributing to cross-cultural exchange. And in research areas, India and Iran cooperate in energy-related research, particularly in the fields of oil, natural gas, and renewable energy. Several collaborations exist in the field of information technology, space research, engineering, India's Space Agency ISRO, and Iran's Space Organization. They share knowledge on satellite development and space exploration. Then we have cultural and language studies. The study of Persian language and literature is a key area of collaboration. Indian universities such as JNU and AMU, Aligarh Muslim University, they offer Persian language programs which foster the deeper cultural ties between the two countries. When we come to the scholarship and the funding, the Indian government offers scholarship to Iranian students through programs like ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, which has enabled many Iranians to study in India, particularly in space engineering and the humanities. Now, we have seen all the collaborations and the academic relations and the education things. But when we come to the challenges, then the main challenge which we face, the education and the research collaborations between Iran and India, the challenges which we are facing is the impact of international sanctions on research and academic collaboration. There is financial restrictions and the banking issues. There are barriers to accessing advanced technology and equipments because sanctions have restricted Iran's ability to import high-tech equipment and material, which directly impact research capabilities in areas like medical research, engineering, space technology, and even basic scientific research. Indian institutions collaborating with Iranian counterparts may struggle to access the necessary technology to carry out joint projects effectively. There is limited participation in international research programs. Many research funding organizations, such as Horizon 2020, they often exclude Iranian researchers due to sanctions. So, this limits the opportunities for Iranian academics to collaborate on international projects or assess cutting edge research funding. There are restrictions on travel and exchange programs like visa and travel restrictions, restrictions on academic exchanges. There are many geopolitical tensions also. Pressure from the Western powers because India's relationship with Iran has been affected by the external geopolitical pressures, especially from US and European countries. While India has maintained a neutral stance on many international issues, it has faced pressure from the Western nations to reduce its ties with Iran, especially in the sector of energy and trade. So, this can spill over into educational and research spheres also. There is uncertainty in diplomatic relations, there is technology transfer and complicated technology transfer and intellectual property concerns. So, these are the challenges. The main one more important challenge is the economic constraints on education and research institutions. With financial restrictions, the Iranian university faced difficulties in securing research fundings from international sources, which limits their ability to undertake the high impact projects. So, the Iranian researchers may struggle to access grants and scholarships from major international funding agencies. There is lack of access to scholarly resources, cultural and linguistic barriers are there, and lastly there are strategies for overcoming the sanctions and challenges. So Indian and Iranian institutions, they can explore alternative funding sources for collaborative projects such as regional cooperation initiatives or the joint venture with non-Western entities or funding from countries like Russia, China, other Asian nations which may not impose any sanctions on Iran. So there are the sanctions, which are the US sanctions and the EU sanctions. Now, what are the opportunities for the growth? Now, the main opportunities of growth are expanding the joint research initiatives in key areas, which are renewable energy and sustainability, water management and agriculture, space technology and satellite development, and medical research and pharmaceuticals. Academic student and faculty exchange programs. Expanding student and faculty exchange programs can also help to strengthen the cultural ties and academic collaboration. So, programs focusing on joint degrees or dual degree programs in key fields such as engineering, law, economics, and social sciences, they can help create a new generation of researchers and academics with deep understanding of both the countries. There is increasing interest in Persian and Indian languages, literature, cultural studies in both countries. So, universities in India could expand their Persian language programs, while Iranian universities could offer more courses on Indian languages, history, and culture. So these are the few challenges which and the options which I have talked about. And at the end, I would summarize that India and Iran, they share a significant potential for collaboration in the field of information technology. Despite the challenges posed by the geopolitical factors and sanctions, both the countries have opportunity to strengthen their bilateral ties by leveraging India's IT expertise in sectors such as cybersecurity, cloud computing, digital payments, and AI. So, despite the challenges, telecommunication also remain a potential area for Indo-Iran collaboration, especially in fiber optics, cybersecurity, and satellite communication. While the challenges posed by sanctions and geopolitical tensions are significant, but there are numerous opportunities for India and Iran to deepen their educational and research collaboration. And by focusing on joint research initiatives, expanding academic exchanging, leveraging technological expertise, and exploring new digital avenues, both nations can create a more dynamic and resilient academic relationships. And these opportunities for growth can help strengthen bilateral ties, promote mutual understanding, and enhance regional and global cooperation in future. So I would thank you so much. I would end my presentation with this. Thank you, everyone.
Keen analytical approach, you have guided us through deciphering Indo-Iran aspirations in the technological domain. Your talk on technological projects between Iran and India was a perfect blend of expertise, vision, and strategic thinking. It shed light on the immense opportunities for collaboration in the ever-evolving world of technology. Our speaker, Dr. Biswajit Roy Chaudhary, has left because of some technical glitches on his side as well. So now we move on to the conclusion of this very enriching, illuminating, and uplifting session. As we conclude the first day of this conference, we contemplate on the treasure trove of knowledge and plentiful insights those were shared today. Each of our speakers have put forward unique perspectives, deep expertise, and valuable analysis to explore the multifaceted dimensions of Indo-Iran relations, from history and diplomacy to technology and geopolitics. Their thought-provoking discourses unfolded today have ignited meaningful dialogue that will continue beyond this conference. We extend our utmost gratitude to all our eminent speakers, both in person and online, for their time, efforts, and invaluable contributions. This journey is, however, far from over. We have an equally engaging and insightful lineup awaiting for you tomorrow. So we warmly invite you to the second day of our international conference. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Thank you. I would now like to invite Shaikh Anzalna from the Department of English to propose a vote of thanks.
A very good evening to all. As we come to the close of first day of conference on Indo-Iran relation, it's my honor to extend heartfelt thanks to all those who have made these sessions today interesting and enriching. First and foremost, our deepest appreciation goes to our distinguished speakers who have shared their expert knowledge and perspective with us today. My wholehearted thanks to Dr. Mohammed Faheem for his enriching analysis of Indo-Iran relations and 21st century and valuable contribution to the session. My deepest gratitude to Dr. Tabassum Shaikh for her interesting insights on structuring Iran through the lenses of philosophy. A special thanks to our online speaker as well for their remarkable views and perspective. To Dr. Ayman Yusuf for his engaging and illuminating presentation of Iran's foreign policy and its implications. To Dr. Shalini Sharma for shedding light on Indo-Iran relations in the realm of technology. I truly appreciate the time and efforts of your speakers dedicated to make the session today informative and thought-provoking. I am very thankful to our management member for their presence and support. I extend my thanks to our principal, Dr. Muhammed Arif, for his able guidance and direction. A big thank you to staff and organizing team for their untiring efforts and enthusiastic smooth conduct of session. Thank you to our wonderful audience for your engagement and participation. Thank you once again for being a part of this incredible day. Wishing you a pleasant evening. Thank you.
Let us all please stand for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request all to please join us for tea.